So.
Pressure is on in this series or the next to be able to qualify.
Cloud9 was the last North American team.
Wir sind raus. Okay, Oriana offen.
Finals all the way back
Javan offen.
2018, gentlemen.
First Pick für C9.
Team with an international
Oriana raus.
here for North America, and they would love
Javan, Ash, Serafin,
again, but to do that,
Lushmilio, alles offen noch.
So let's go ahead and see what the draft is going to look like here for game number 1. C9 have elected for first pick. Lion have chosen blue side. Lion going to ban out the Lee Sin and the Oriana, while C9 take Akali and Varus off the table.
Kammer raus. Ash, Serafin, Javan, Lushmilio. Cassio raus, alles offen. Rumble auch offen.
All right. Okay.
Flowers, me and you, we gotta get the.
Warum C9-Fan? Sehr gut mit Sven befreundet. Ich denke, das ist das Finale. Ich glaube, Team Liquid kann ein bisschen konkurrieren, aber ich denke, das hier ist auch das Finale. Sie knockt on First Pick. Bene Dank für den 6. Okay.
Zale's cosplay is already ahead of ours.
Okay.
Okay, so they do follow it up with the Cassiopeia band, though.
Was spielen wir gegen Ash Serafin?
Really taking over since the introduction of Deathfire Touch. And so the respect is there, but Cloud9 opt for the really.
Sie könnten auch Lushmilio gehen, ist besser gegen Nocturne. Ash Serafin kann anfällig werden.
Setting up possible combinations with Nico, definitely looking for hard engagement.
Lushmilio besser gegen. Okay, okay. Ash Serafin. Aber da gehen die Javan. Oh, weia. Oh, das ist schon wieder scheiße. Oh, wir gehen Caitlyn, oder? Wir könnten auch Ezreal Nico gehen in Game 1. Wir können auch Ezreal gehen oder ja. Caitlyn Bart. Oh. Javan auf 3. Okay. Atemo, danke für den 6. Noch B1 ist crazy. Also mit den Champions, die offen sind, finde ich auch, aber der Champion ist sehr, sehr strong. Hat, glaube ich, 80% Banrate oder sowas.
Cloud9 also, you know, they're getting the Senna here for Sven to be able to scale up, to stack those.
Muss Javan werden, oder? Wow, okay. Personal Preference, er ist ein sehr guter Wukong-Spieler. Wahrscheinlich sein bester Champion.
Honestly, I'm already thinking about early Annie stuff too, because not Annie pairs well with Wukong, but also because
So, Annie, Fragezeichen. TF, Fragezeichen. Wir könnten auch einen TF von ihm hier bekommen. Die werden wahrscheinlich TF bannen, oder? Annie TF bannen. Ist, glaube ich, nicht super unrealistisch.
You've got the Annie ban. It's going to be solo lane focus here in the second half of the draft.
Dann könnte die Ryze gehen. Wir bekommen Anivia.
Junglers already selected for both sides. Not really any true opportunity for flexing these first 3 on either.
Sind wir auf 16-10, wir sind auf 16-11. Keine Nami.
Been very powerful recently, so we'll be excited to see if Berserker and Isles can find that early pressure here against the Senna Nautilus during the laning phase. Silas going to be banned out here from C9.
Ja, TF.
Do not want to allow that to be piloted by Lion, steal away some of these valuable ultimates.
Yeah, honestly, okay, so what is that opening up then? Because like they're supporting.
Wenn die hier TF packen, dann Mehl für uns.
Silas bands, you're protecting against like if we have an Alistar or a Shyvana, you know, stuff
you
like
don't
that.
Want him, or Malphite.
Or Malphite, or like Gnar. You know, these types of things are what you're usually thinking about. So maybe it's something for.
So wann ist, wenn wir alle Carry seid? Das ist ein drittes Jahr jetzt wieder. Könnte Thanatos Renekton werden. Thanatos Renekton.
Silas player in general. You know, he is a very good melee mid laner. You know, can utilize that really, really effectively. I do think that's one of the biggest differences in play style, you know, across the board here is in mid lane, is that APA is much more on the kind of like
Anivia's Turbo.
And he's not going to play melee. So
Adler ist lang für 9.
So I feel like they're maybe just kind of targeting for that reason to be able to deny that. TF, it's also an answer that
Wer ist Favorit? C9. Bestimmt. Anivia, TF.
Maybe they would be looking for kind of more of a global play.
Plus Renekton. TF plus Renekton. Nicht bad.
Style. You know, he is very much a facilitator on this team. And it is going to be
Cassio's banned
for Saint. So he's going to have the ability to play those side lanes if he wants. And they're saving last pick for Dokla, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, that was kind of the Lion recipe against some of these top teams. When you
Sion besserer Blind. Okay.
was Dokla bringing out all these range counter picks.
Yeah, especially if you're going against the first team All-Pro.
Oh, wir laufen so in den Vayne rein. Fuck, Bro.
So he blinds the tank here, just the Scion.
Do you think we get a Vayne? That's kind of my question here, is because
Anivia.
Vayne is up. Vayne is something that Dokla would like to go towards some
Anivia, das ist gut gegen Vayne. Anivia, bitte, Anivia, bitte, Anivia.
option. Or do they
Auch gut.
standard?
Okay. Die haben keinen Reach für ihn gerade.
Trademark
Vayne fixt es nicht. Die brauchen Orn eigentlich.
locked in.
Die brauchen No Joke, die brauchen irgendeinen Engage. Ansonsten haben die nichts gegen den 6 High Range.
I think the Vayne is a little too dangerous.
Ja, die brauchen irgendwas mit Engage.
Is because
Scheiße.
of the early Nocturne. That's
Oh,
I
fuck.
definitely agree with you as far as the, liking Cloud9 go for Nocturne early, because it does take away from some of the counter picks. Since C9 know Thanatos is probably going to have to.
Die haben nichts gegen den 6.
It takes away some of the
Die haben nichts gegen den 6.
risky counter picks.
C9 Draft Win Game
I'm
1.
gonna go ahead and
Ein bisschen für C9.
to doubt right here, gentlemen, because I feel like every time we see Renekton versus Scion in the LCS,
1-0 C9.
Scion coming out on
Ich call es jetzt. 1-0 C9.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, to me, this just shows that LYON just feel like they're just gonna beat them right straight up because they're not going for anything creative. They're not going for anything
1-0 C9.
picky really up there on the top side. There are a lot of shields to break, with the Renekton, obviously the Scion shield, the Senna shields, the Nocturne, the Nautilus shields. There's a lot of different shields that you can actually pop with the Empowered W. So there is that for Dokla, but clearly they're feeling confident that they can just play standard and look to attack this C9 composition, which I will say is very low on consistent damage, right? You send in the Nocturne, you throw out the Ziggs ult.
Level 1 Terror. Nocturne ist stärker als ein Wukong.
Champs. And what this LYON comp does have is a lot of
Plus 6 Level 1 potenziell stärker als ein Ryze. Sollte stärker sein als ein Ryze.
to absorb that initial engage, that initial dive that's going to come back.
Dom, jetzt gib ihm eine Faust.
Maybe their thought process is, hey, we just need
Schade.
multiple threats. We attack the Senna and the Ziggs from multiple angles. Keep the
Es rennt gut gegen seine Early Game, ja.
Berserker can kind of deal with the rest with the help of Amelia.
Yeah, it is going to be really interesting because there is a
Kein Reach für den 6.
as well, and LYON, their main engage here is basically Wukong, is basically Inspire.
Yeah.
Getting a flank or getting a good angle to find the main engage. Maybe even like a Rise Realm Morph into some angle. But they do have, if Senna can scale, and Ziggs range as well for some poke damage. So it'll be very interesting to see if LYON's bottom lane can, find something here. We get, oh my goodness, the all chat is going crazy already in game number 1.
Yeah, Satan already told APA to shut up 1 second in. It says 4 bans for me. Like, our God. And then we'll probably scroll because Satan immediately after this told APA to shut up.
if you've been following the LCS this split, we've done a lot.
The LYONs comms.
Yeah, we've done a lot of LYONs comms listening, and they very use that term.
Wir machen nicht Level 1, wir clearen runter. Okay, beide Jungler starten mal Red Buff.
Be quiet, no offense intended.
yeah, just banter.
Maybe a little bit.
Just a little.
In this case, maybe to a
Melee gegen Range Support, ergibt Sinn.
back and forth here, but
Stack Keys, super.
Cloud9 was getting their communication streamlined.
Viel zu spät der Heal.
As we did
Viel zu spät der Heal.
bottom lane. Let's listen in.
We sound similar, Blabber. Yeah, we do. Let's try to not confuse our team. We should sign off every comm we say.
I'll just be way louder than you, so I think they'll be fine.
I'm going mid. This is Vulcan. What's that, Blabber? If it's passive aggressive, it's me. If it's wrong, it's Blabber.
If it's passive aggressive, it's me. If it's wrong, it's Blabber. That is a crazy quote.
Könnte invaden. Ja, rein. Fuck. Hat aber keine Ward, keine Potion.
this bottom lane.
Inspire hat keine Potion, er ist gespottet. Hey.
What can they do?
That ain't bad.
Melio lane. How much of
Oh, mein Nocturne hat 2 Punkte in Q, oder?
use that
Hey.
to try and get a foothold in this game. But I wanted to bring this back up. Remember Lock-in
Begeben?
Finals? The most important match that they actually played also had a bunch of all chat where there's some history here with Saint and especially
Hey,
LCA.
wir sollten nicht so viel Angst haben.
Do have the invade and they are using the pushing bottom lane to steal away blue buff here for Inspired. So let's get to the action.
Yeah, let's
Wir haben Combat Summon Advantage, hallo.
out here immediately as LYON is ready to try to contest.
Blabber.
Lyle's gonna see some of the damage here at the very start, but Blabber is first blood already back over to LYON. It's Berserker cashing in with 2 bullets straight to Blabber's heart.
Blabber wanted to go get his passive auto for the AoE as he walks right into them, but he does not flash out. It does not get them a good setup for this fight at all. Playing off the bottom lane that had been pushed in, and isn't going to have the fighting capability, that is a terrible start for C9, for Blabber.
It felt like he got really confident because Vulcan is over there in the brush. They obviously know this is happening. Blabber is being very careful. He walks the long way around.
Hat doch Flash!
You know, when they move and actually back him up here, it seems like Sven and Vulcan have a very different read on the situation than him. You know, Vulcan does get this initial hook down, and they're like, okay, maybe we can fight. And Blabber...
Ja, aber geh doch auf Reils! Was macht der?
Vulcan and Sven want to back off, but Blabber's going right into the middle of all three. They all focus him down, and he just gives over a freebie.
I mean, yeah, it's early Senna with very little mana left as well, though. So I kind of side with the bottom lane's opinion on that one. And I guess, you know, Vulcan said if it's wrong, it's Blabber. Blabber's gone. So.
Well, and this is the head-to-head all-time.
Junge.
One in best of 5.
Junge, bitte, zeig das doch nicht.
Blabber individually has been pretty good in those games, you know, as far as the stats are concerned, but Inspired always seems to have his number, always seems to win in those big moments, take the game 5s, take those big plays.
It's the clutch factor, right? It's the fact that Inspired has been the one, like the desk was talking about before we got to the series. You look at LYON's victories, so many of them, what is the emblem on the other side of the head-to-head? It's Cloud9 that he took down. So C9 has got to find an answer for this guy, but so far, it's LYON with a nice early lead.
And I will say, a lot of the time, when people are talking about these two teams, the thing that they're going to point towards for C9 as an advantage is top lane, right? Is Thanatos. But Thanatos is playing the more supportive style champion. Doesn't mean he can't be a big impact on this game. And as you see, he's already pushing in Dokla.
Reicht mir.
So if this Sion can win the 1v1, become
ein Nocturne wird wieder invaded, by the way. Die Gromp ist wieder weg.
And that is the way you make a difference.
Die Gromp ist 100% weg. Saint holt sich auf der Mitte Wave Level 6. Ja.
9-0 on Sion in his career.
That is a crazy stat.
Oh, Dragon Spawn.
This would make it 10 in a row if Thanatos can lock in.
All right, so both bottom laners thinking about bottom half.
Bin ich vielleicht okay mit?
Here, but Blabber walked over the ward, and so they know he's doing Gromp. And really, just as long as LYON are cautious here, yeah, and they're going to wrap around to the Tri-Brush ward as well. Looks pretty free for them.
Na, er ist Double Dagger gegeben mit der Diskussion. Ne?
By that invade and dying off, so Wukong's going to get to level 6. Much earlier than Blabber, and you're gonna have such a big advantage. Wukong with level 6.
Upgraded Smite, Top Grab ist weg, Level 6 für Blabber, für Wukong. Oh Gott.
The experience bars there, the purple one in the middle.
Oh, großer Gott.
They're gonna have a lot of priority wherever Inspired goes, and he does have flash too for when he hits 6, but Isles is in trouble!
Yeah, Isles about to drop down here in the bottom lane. The cozy campfire plus still keeps him alive. As Berserker arrives to guarantee that C9 can't finish the job.
Wer bekommt die Trap?
It was a little bit risky. He was trying to hold that wave for Berserker. At the end of the day, he does keep his flash, loses the heal. And this is Emily's match of the week. Who has had the better record of matches of the week, Raz or Emily?
Dachte, wer ist für LYON? Ich bin immer für C9.
Emily over Raz.
Honestly, though,
Und wenn nicht C9, dann für LYON.
Even though he picked second, have actually been
Das ist für Inspired.
They've been entertaining, you know.
I just gotta give Raz
like
grief.
Raz.
Yeah, Raz goes entertainment factor.
Yeah. That's respectable.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you gotta have somebody willing to stoke the flames here a little bit.
Yeah, and dress up like a clown and sometimes act like a clown.
The nose honk for good luck was something that only Raz could conjure up, truly.
But, you know, it's for a good reason that Emily picks this for her match of the week. We have a lot of all-pros in this.
18 Stacks für Sven ist okay.
All-pros go pretty hard. And as Azale is highlighting, it's our number 1 seed versus our number 2 seed. So,
Ich glaube, es erwarten heute 5 Games.
Top of the standing.
Ich würde auch ein 3-0 C9 nehmen.
We got a lot of history between these two teams. You know, you think back in Lock-In, C9 won the best of 3, then LYON won the best of 5. Then to start this split, we had C9 winning the best of 3 against LYON again, and now they are here in a really important match.
Die können halt wieder die ganze Zeit Terror machen, ne? Also Hammer Midlane Push vom Ryze noch. Also APA ist gut dabei. Hammer Midlane Push into Invade.
So, yes, whoever loses here will still have a chance, and they will still go to Arizona. But this is your chance to punch your ticket to an international and to be waiting in the grand finals right here, right now.
It's a big deal, and right now you can see Inspired is back, looking to invade this bottom side enemy jungle yet again. Here on the second blue buff spawn, Blabber, Vulcan und Sven all...
Oh, wir werden hier fighten und Level 6 Lucian wird uns in den Arsch ficken. Oh, Griefer! Nächste Q-Bombe!
LYON managed to get everybody away for now. Inspired's also got to be a little bit careful. LYON on the worst of the health bar trade, so they're going to go ahead and exit.
Whew, okay, so LYON did get the blue.
Ja, mein Blue ist weg.
Both summoner spells and the realm warp because he went pretty deep there, trying to go for the zone. Their call was, hey, we can make a pincer. He did get Blabber's Flash, so it's not like it was an unanswered couple of summoner spells that were used, and now APA under attack.
Yeah, APA takes the satchel, but he bounces back.
Wie ist mein Fuck, er ist Jodel tot.
Inspired, ready to flash after him. Goes ahead, right back in there from another crushing blow. APA caught up in the Rune Prison, and Inspired picked
TJ, danke für den Sinn.
And Inspired did not use his flash or the Cyclone in that fight over by the blue buff. Had it for that play, is able to get a kill on APA and forces flash, which is just that insult to injury. Was trying to take a risky path out of there, trying to kind of move forward. Maybe he had thought Saint went back to base and then he could kind of walk his way out that way, but at the end of the day, does get punished, loses the flash, dies, and Inspire rewarded for holding onto those cooldowns.
Yeah, really good wraparound there from Inspired. And if you're a mid laner, just like used ult and double summoner spells so you could get blue buff, and then you pay him back like that, he's going to be real happy.
That's a good payback.
Ja, Sven, also später haben die wieder, die haben nicht genug Reach für diesen Six. Und wenn meine Senna weiterhin so stackt, was gut ist, für 26 Stacks bei 9 Minuten bin ich sehr happy mit, auch dann haben sie keine Reach für die Senna. Die beiden Carries werden sehr stark sein von C9.
I will say though, C9's bot lane doing
Kann der CEO bitte einmal Mitleid haben?
did pick up a kill. You know, was able to get that kill earlier.
Können wir nicht ulten für Base Cancel? Nee?
Had
Okay.
gold as a result, but they are dead even in farm. Sven has already gotten almost 30 souls. They're pushing in this wave. They have gotten one plate already. They're going to deny some minions. So the Senna Nautilus, you know, who you are expecting to be a bit on the back foot in this matchup early on, are doing quite well and are scaling, and that is so
DFT kannst du immer noch gehen, ist am meisten Damage auf jeden Fall. Also bei Farm am meisten Damage.
and the Senna as your big damage dealers. You know, they have to have a good lane, and I think they are.
Yeah, the tanky strats for the Sennas now with the the steel caps and the helm, and just focus on your scaling and stacking up your
Trinity fertig bei Inspired.
See about the remainder here, because the Blabber ultimate
Mr. Balanced.
is back up, Nocturne ultimate available, and you can see him walking around with Vulcan. The Nautilus here. Once you have Nautilus point and click, definitely.
Blaubi Admin kommt mit Triforce aus der Base.
Pull off if they can trap
Kein
any
Flash auf Blauber.
because APA from mid lane, the Ziggs can always add that big damage onto the Nautilus CC.
Yeah, and look at the bottom side river control by C9 right now as this second Drake is spawning. Look at the amount of wards that they have placed around here. Control wards everywhere. They've got the ward over the wall here, just over that terrain near mid lane. And now Blabber's going to take the blast cone over. Bottom lane's already pushed out. C9 is...
Wir wollen hier fighten, ne?
Sven and Vulcan rotating over.
I mean, okay. Keine Items. Das einzige fertige Item ist das Triforce von Inspired. Hard Engage rein. Bitte!
Is shut down. C9 have already found themselves a kill on the
Und jetzt Toplane Ult mit Sion.
earn them the objective.
That is your first team All-Pro support right
So.
there. Vulcan with the snipe from the Bright
Richtig gut.
Flowers. He sets it up in that Nautilus CC into the Ziggs damage. Exactly what you're talking about. He annihilates the
Drake's ausgeglichen. Sehr gut.
Inspired had just gotten his big power spike here with the Trinity Force, but Vulcan right out of the brush.
Geil.
It's actually a tag team play. We're not going to see it. APA had warded over the wall and forced his clone earlier. That is why he has the confidence to flash in for there. You see that little ward
Sehr gut.
spot right here. That was just cleared out. APA had warded over, had forced the clone. They knew he had no flash because of the mid gank. So Vulcan says, when you walk in this brush, you got no clone,
Da, Jack.
no flash, no way
L9
to
Jack.
hold this, and full sends it.
And you can tell Jack in the audience there.
Glaubst du gerade, spielt heute ein Game? Nein.
C9 to get back to an international, and he's liking what he's seeing in game number 1 there. Really.
Ja, ist nicht C9 Jack, ist L9 Jack.
Play from Cloud9. All ultimates used as well for the play.
And speaking of all, we're talking about all pro here. The first team, 4 out of 5 players.
Wer ist Jack, der Owner von
in
C9?
this match, Saint and
Also
Berserker.
actually, dem gehört der Bums.
All pro AD carry and mid laner here for LYON. First team all pro support and top laner for C9.
And a lot of these guys, you know, especially on the C9 side, the Thanatos votes and the Vulcan very heavily towards them.
Hey.
They got a lot
Hey,
of
Bruder,
points.
bitte.
You know, Berserker to me as well was the clear #1.
Du bist ja eigentlich meine Bank.
First team, it's not even like they were barely on first team. They were definitely deserving.
Okay.
First team, they would be second team also if they could be. They'd occupy a couple of slots.
On a bad day, they're also third.
Yeah, I was one to double vote a couple of times. I didn't. I have integrity. But now C9 is looking to make a move here on the top side while Inspired yet again invades the bottom enemy jungle. Vulcan and APA gonna go ahead, get this wave cleared out, and wow.
They think his recall finished. Doka with so much patience there. They're like, wait a second.
That is a sneaky crocodile staying here for this long. And look at Saints positioning.
Wenn das jetzt hier mit einem toten APA endet, dann... Nein, er ist tot.
Might stick around long enough.
Nein, er ist actually tot. Nein. Bitte, du hast Flash. Bruder, er ist einfach tot.
Saints about to knock it down. Beware the patience of a top laner ignored, as now they find their move. And Saint gets away from the counterattack paranoia as well. Goodness gracious, how audacious Dokla gets it done.
Oh my
Und er lässt noch basen.
Second play sometimes is doing absolutely nothing. He just waits in the brush. 007 over there hiding out. And surprise popping out here onto APA. For a second, it looked like they were going to be able to get a counter kill with all this damage that was dumped down, but look at the timing on the Realm Warp.
Yeah, this is crazy. Now you see me, now you don't. Disappears before the fear tether goes off, by the way. That would interrupt it. That would also mean death. So split seconds there, making the difference. And Dokla then got right back down to the bottom lane, because that was going to be the price of these like long staying plays where you're patient and you're staying away in the bush. But can you get back down to the
Plötzlich sehen bei Sven.
down to the minion wave?
Fertig.
And so Dokla right back down to the other side. And it is LYON increasing the gold lead to over 1.5K now.
And I just love how not only was Dokla smart enough to stay in the brush and realize, okay, they actually check the forward brushes, they think I've finished my recall. Then he doesn't just take a recall there, he realizes, you know what, Saint is moving up, we can actually find a play here. And is able to turn that escape into an aggressive play, which turns into another escape as Saint gets out. You know, those are the kind of plays that people really credit him for.
Now,
Ja.
trying to go in, find a counterattack here onto Dokla.
Ja.
Ready to fly in with a paranoia, and C9 finds revenge.
Den Herald, aber die haben keinen Crossmap damit.
Spent everything using the dominance to trade aggressively against Thanatos, and as soon as it wears away, Thanatos has Blabber in the back pocket, ready to strike back.
Yeah, clap back there from Cloud9. Actually doesn't take very long at all. We're still singing the praises of Dokla as he dies. So C9, first turret bonus is really nice too for them to be able to get. Blabber and Thanatos, nice combination.
Yeah, that's a pretty big kill.
Ich bräuchte ein bisschen Solo-XP auf Sven.
Blabber gets some much needed gold here.
Mal wieder ein Support, der hier alles an XP...
Thanatos undefeated on the
Was?
Whew. This man has some impressive numbers for sure. And I mean, 0-0-1, it's not the most impressive, but honestly, I've got nothing to complain about.
Yeah, and on it right there too. He trades splashes with the Wukong, and he had Unending Despair, walks it off, gets out after they've gotten their objective completed already.
Wir müssen sofort aufhören, diese All-In-Trades zu nehmen auf Mitte. Das ist scheiße.
Now LYON is ready to return fire. Vulcan and Sven backing themselves away. Piercing Light nicely tags both health bars there on the end of the trade, guaranteeing a victory for LYON back and forth with the HP as another dredge line coming in from Vulcan. Mega Inferno Bomb collides with Isles, but it doesn't honestly do a whole ton of damage the entire time. Inspired was
Oh, großer Gott.
so that one's going to be secured for the LYON side. As Thanatos and Blabber can't really get it.
Ja, Lions haben das relativ.
Forcing means that C9 can't do a whole lot. Now LYON ready for the counterattack.
Kein Flash auf Inspired.
It's APA the target.
Hey!
Immediately depth charge down onto Inspired. Has to back himself away. Flash over the wall from APA, keeping himself safe.
Okay.
Sides, committing some resources.
Kein Flash auf Saint.
Side, losing a man.
Yeah,
Und auf Isles.
Turn everything on APA there, and it ends up one flash for one flash. But they already secured the dragon, as you say, for LYON.
Nicely done there by LYON, being able to sneak that away. And it felt like, you know, Vulcan with that hook into the Mega Inferno Bomb, they were just looking for some chip to try to set up for the dragon. But Inspired had kind of preempted the play, was already on the objective, already taking it down, and does grab themselves that second dragon here. Infernal Soul going to be really good, honestly, for either team. So I think this is going to be very heavily contested over the next 10 minutes or so.
I hope so. I love heavily contested objectives, my friends. It shows who's really got that planning. And I feel like when we're talking about planning, when we're talking about macro moves,
Helm auf seiner Lane ist sowieso, also die haben Losing Lane, dementsprechend gehst du dann Helm.
this guy does
Super goldeffizient. Paar schöne Base-Stats, kannst ein bisschen besser in Lane überleben.
the league by leaps and bounds.
And I think the next few minutes are going to be really telling for this game because you just got your 2-item power spike for Berserker here, whereas, you know, Sven is still building...
Saint ist schon ein halbes Level ahead.
And can you take advantage of this big Lucian power spike at the moment? In mid lane, you're trying to get chunk damage, you're trying to get priority here, but Sven with his static shiv is doing just fine, deletes the wave, and he...
50 Stacks für Sven, solid.
The presence of Vulcan right now, which is huge because it allows Nautilus some roam timers, even though there's nothing to get on the top side at the moment. Doing a very good job there for Sven, as long as he can plant...
Burning Six, again, die haben eigentlich keinen Access auf den Six. Es ist okay, dass er Leandris geht. Mag ich Shadowflame mehr? Natürlich, ich bin ja nicht dumm, aber ist okay.
Yeah, Dokla going and committing the flash to get in front of the Scion ultimate, so Thanatos cannot immediately escape.
Das ist horrible.
Shadow coming through, Thanatos staying alive.
Warte, das ist gut!
Lion can't get what they came for. C9 now.
Da vorne, oh mein Gott, bitte, töte ihn! Renn, ihr killt ihn nicht, renn!
For success, however, it's turned into a 1-for-1 trade as Dokla gets one back. Meanwhile, up here on the top side, Saint versus APA. Well, coming in. Saint tries to juke it out a little bit. APA getting away for now. Does survive, gets a little scrappy up here in the top lane, and bottom side trades 1-for-1.
Yeah, honestly, this game is absolute banger. What an opener to this series, going blow for blow, play for play at the moment.
Yeah, that was actually really close on that bot side. You know, Thanatos is...
Was passiert da auf Sideline?
Okay. Wanted to hold his ult until they're fully
großer Gott.
power to be able to utilize that in the 2v2. They had Sven with the Senna ult. That was going to be able to build them some time, and they are able to get a kill, but Lion played that very well. They didn't just go full retreat. They were still hitting Blabber the entire time that he's chasing after them, so they're able to focus down Blabber and make that, you know, 1-for-1 at the end of the day.
Good moves.
Berserker doing
Hey, können wir bitte aufhören? Wirklich.
those spells back and forth with the passive takes a nice chunk out of the Senna HP, but here's another look at what happened to the bottom lane.
And you can see Blabber's already there. He could ult in at any time, but he realizes Thanatos isn't going to actually just get burst down. Let's wait. Get Sven in position, send a shield, W gets popped, the Soul Furnace there from Thanatos. That gives him that big injection.
Warum Auto-Attack dann noch? Jetzt schaut mal, warum? Jetzt raus! Sofort raus!
Dokla is not just running, Dokla is fighting and looking
Motherfucker.
to kill, turn that into a 1v1. A 1-4-1, excuse me, as Blabber comes down.
I didn't need to die.
Ja,
It's still good.
ja.
Not bad. Yeah. There's no ghost. Flash though.
Okay.
Motherfucker.
Maybe there was a more effective
Der Herald automatisch gespawnt.
without having to trade, but
Für Lion, nein, für C9.
overall result, and honestly, this game is super close. Only a couple hundred gold separating the teams, as Inspired is certainly driving the Herald somewhere. Okay.
No fucking wait after this!
Oh, ran out of gas. The brakes, it loses all the gas right before it hits the target. Lion, not quite what they wanted there from the Herald.
I kind of want to see why he jumped in where he did. You know, I didn't actually catch the very beginning of that play. You know, we saw C9 moving up to look for something else.
Dass der da lebend rauskommt, ist crazy to me. Aber ist okay. Herald an die Wand gefahren. Wukong Ulti auch down. Die müssen diesen Drake, die werden diesen Drake geben. Die werden diesen Drake geben. Wenn nicht fighten. Wir gewinnen den Fight. 100%.
You know, honestly, not that big of a deal for Lion.
100% winning fight.
Right? It's not like you've lost your big summoner spell engaged for the upcoming potential fight. If Lion gets this Drake, they're on soul point, which becomes then very threatening.
In die Gegnerbase reinfahren. Fahr nach links, nach links.
Might find himself in a compromised position. He is a Scion. He's still very tanky with the 2 fully completed items, and he won't be able to walk this one away.
I retract my
That's a Scion. It's not.
Er hat 2 Items. Wir sind so OP. Es ist nicht losable, dieser Fight.
Everybody's hanging around this Drake right now, though, as the Realm Warp is about to
Ey.
Inspire goes over the wall while
Big Dogs!
But he's caught over the wall. He's all alone. Instantly loses 75% HP.
Nocturne Ulti in 5 Sekunden. Nach vorne laufen. Einfach auf die drauf. Einfach auf die drauf. Flash Engage auf Isles. Oh mein Gott. 6 Ulti ist gut. Oh. Ja. Oh. Bitte.
Inspired's in the middle of everybody trying to get away here with the clone. He does steal away the Infernal Drake. but Inspired
Einmal 50-50.
2-for-1 favoring C9, but LYON take the objective and go to Soul Point.
Exactly.
Einmal 50-15.
Inspired is able to pull the rabbit out of the hat there in the middle of all of the Cloud9 members, steals the dragon. They were trying to stop damage on
70 Seelen, 70 Seelen, 70 Seelen. Es ist immer noch free, es ist immer noch free.
The ulti is getting it low, and then clones backwards, kind of jukes him out, is able to finish it off with that Q smite and move them to Soul Point, which is so big for
Einmal 50-50 gewinnen.
Because he also kills Vulcan. When Vulcan goes for this initiation, he's looking for Berserker. This hook actually ends up hitting Isles after this initiation. So this beginning was good poke damage for them onto the Renekton, and then they get the wraparound. And here's where Vulcan is going to go for his hook onto Berserker, but it ends up hitting Isles.
Eine gute Reaktion von Berserker.
Then as Vulcan gets low, he retreats down to Inspired.
Wann smitet der?
Going to be able to not only finish off him, but then also get the smite on the dragon as all of Cloud9 are trying to kill him. Clones back to the side, finishes it off, and clutches.
Hey, good job, guys. Take a deep breath, though.
They still,
Ja.
they,
Ja. Genau, Jack.
From home right now, just
Ganz genau.
same
He
expression
said, nice try, team.
yeah.
as the
He wanted
the
the
next
dragon, but
In
the
T,
kills
in T.
are good too.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. It's a 2-for-1. It's a 2-for-1. 2 is the bigger number. You're
Yeah.
having a great
They
time.
got 2 kills. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
Wer ist es, der Besitzer von C9?
Because that number is a little bit more concerning.
Ignore everything else.
Yeah, here for the next 3.5 minutes, C9 can plan how they're going to address the next
75 Stacks, 76 Stacks.
in trouble rears its head. Mega
Sehr gut.
flies out. Isles
Terrorismus veranstalten wir hier.
thanks to the cozy campfire, but it's C9
Eigentlich schon einen guten Abend erstmal. Nimm beim Giveaway im Discord teil dann, wenn du es gemacht hast. Und Dankeschön.
Ziggs means the satchel offers
Nimm beim Giveaway teil. Ganz viel Liebe.
And you can see that whole time they were confident to just keep Dokla split pushing with no teleport.
Weil ja Patch, 11er Patch. Ja, Black Cleaver und Deathfire Touch funktionieren nicht mehr, aber Deathfire Touch macht am meisten Damage noch.
And try and hold off this Cloud9 onslaught. But again, the range that we talked about earlier with the Ziggs and the Senna starting to show a bit here with some of the siege mechanics.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was ist für ein Aram schon wieder alles gut für C9, diese Aram, weil sie ja outrangen.
Do scale up, you know, Sven as he's getting more and more souls, APA as he's getting more and more items.
Saint gleich Level 16. Oh mein Gott.
The engage is pretty explosive here with the combo of Realm Warp, of Cyclone, of Renekton coming in. You can Realm Warp multiple or even just one of them into that backline.
Oh mein Gott, da ist Level 16.
Plays here. And they're very strong in the side lanes as well with the Rise because Saint is completely...
Am synergiert denn gerade Senna gut mit TFT? Well, in der Theorie halt, weil also Q halt, ne? Ich meine, sie kann es halt applyen, plus andere sind nicht mehr so geil. Ich meine, du kannst halt Fleet gehen, theoretisch. Auf dem alten Patch war es, weil jetzt Black Cleaver full gestackt hat, jetzt einfach nur am meisten Damage.
Drake define the game, or is it bigger than that?
I think it does if LYON gets it. I think that you don't outscale them enough that you can just ignore an Infernal Soul, especially with such a high damage comp. So to me, if
So viele Souls, by the way, 82.
you know, get the next couple dragons, then they really are going to start to outscale. But at this point, it's so close, and one dragon gets them Infernal Soul, and I think leapfrogs LYON ahead.
Right, a little bit of playground games, a little bit of leapfrog. You do not want to.
Für mehr Early Game, oder? Ich meine, er ist schon Helm gegangen, ne?
That's the name of the game.
I don't know.
90 seconds until that dragon spawns as C9 are early to what is going to be, I'm sure, the scene.
Oh, warte, Lucian ist auch Black Cleaver gegangen. Interesting.
Setting up
Mehr Tankiness.
around this battlefield.
And it's always incredibly important too. Whenever you're getting to the soul, you're usually getting the third items for junglers. So Guardian Angel completion does look like Blabber is a bit further, ahead than Inspired. Overall, he is ahead a marginal amount of gold. But if you can...
Junge, dieser Rise. Oh mein Gott. Bitte, hab keinen Actualizer fertig für den Fight. Bitte.
Junglers are full send junglers.
They go in.
Exactly. Either Nocturne or Wukong. Being able to be the point man for the play.
And Berserker did go for, kind of the cheaper item completion. He has a faster 3, he has a Black Cleaver, didn't go straight to the IE, so he's not going to have an IE for sure. But if Sven can get to an Infinity Edge, that would be
Sven wird keine IE fertig haben, niemals.
quite a bit of gold, so he's not going to be able to get there. So we'll just be on these components. Berserker is going to be stronger for this fight.
All right, 25 seconds as AD carries will fight one another over the wave. Not really one another, but one another's minions. As those get cleared out, and it's still C9 Vision controlling the Dragon Pit.
And remember, too, that LYON have the option. They don't actually have...
Sven geht Hex-Optik, Sven soll da IE gehen, glaube ich.
They did push on top side.
Aber er könnte auch Hex-Optik sehen. Hex-Optik, IE könnte auch gehen.
Vision around
Beides
there,
fein.
but looks like Saints coming down for possible...
Ist Upper Bracket Finale.
Everybody going towards the dragon fight.
Yeah, it's like you said. I mean, they don't have to. If it looks bad, they can back off. But at the same time, that's buying more time for Sion and Senna, which is a big risk itself. So I think they want to fight if they can.
Inspired trying to step
Fast 100 Seelen.
over a ward. C9 has placed down in the brush. Vulcan eats a ultra mega fire kick.
Wir müssen aber auch starten, by the way. I mean, wir müssen nicht wirklich starten, weil wir outrangen, theoretisch. Und wir outpoken sie auch. Die müssen ja Trigger pullen.
Will we see the Wukong full send use the extra life right now? Blabber's trying to recall
89 Seelen.
Nocturne, so he can join from a far distance. And he's not on vision. So Lion
RJ. RJ, okay.
just gone to go complete his GA. And I think C9 are going to get away with it.
Yep, Blabber also only level 15, critically halfway there to that level 16 point where you...
Noch kein Actionalizer. Wir sollten bitte starten.
So, a little bit more limited engage opportunity, but he has rejoined with the rest of the team now.
Gut.
Angel up and ready to go for both of our junglers. 3 full items for both of them. 3 full items on Berserker, as mentioned earlier. No infinity.
W-Forcen.
For Sven, C9
Pull das Ding raus. TP jetzt von APA. Hat er einen fertig?
Commitment. As the dragon is allowed to be pulled outside of the pit here just a little bit, Inspired and Dokla
Sana tritt.
for the opportunity to make some sort of a
Okay, wir haben ein Wort auf Dokes. Der wird ihn spotten, ne? Oh, die... Sven. 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 Ja.
Sven's under pressure, but he stays alive for now. Inspired and Dokla.
Slow. Slow. Ja, Saint.
Here on the left side of the fight has to flash away.
Bitte, gib ihm das 50-50, bitte.
As Lion continuing to try to look for the Inferno.
Oh Gott, Sven ist so tot. By the way, schaut auf die Saint-Flank. Sven ist tot, oder?
Coming in from Vulcan, knocks Inspired down into the Guardian Angel, but Blabber's gotta be careful now too. Inspired getting away from decimating smashes the calling.
Sven, bitte leb!
Barely hanging on. Dokla going into the back.
Dokla! Nein, 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 nein!
Berserker wants everybody, but he won't be able to find it here just yet. Blabber's still hanging on just barely, but he stays alive.
Nein, Soul ist weg!
A little bit more damage might secure it. Infernal Soul over to Lion. C9 still fighting, Snake getting himself away for now, firing right back. Blabber stays alive, 200 HP. Lion, Isles, and Saint still looking for a little bit more, going after Thanatos. The immunity of the unstoppable onslaught gets him away. Good Lord, man!
That was a
Okay, wir müssen uns sofort besser positionieren in Fights. Das ist nicht real. Wieso ist meine Senna isoliert? Die ganze, also wieso werden wir von einem Rice gepinzert?
And they pop the GA from Blabber, and while he's in GA, Inspired finishes the Dragon.
Meine beiden Carries werden komplett isoliert von Rice geprankt.
Wait, Ziggs flashed
I just use Wulsum slow. I'm stay here though.
Careful, Nautilus hook from this.
Yeah. I can.
Schaut, wie meine Carries stehen.
Look here.
Ziggs no flash,
They're gonna
Ziggs
try
no
and finish
flash.
right now.
Okay.
What's Senna?
I have no ult
Okay,
now.
look Senna.
Ziggs no flash in the pit.
I'll try to get 6. I'm looking Jigs.
They are stuck. In the pit. They are stuck.
Coming to you. Kill Duck. I have
Yeah,
damage
kill
now.
Duck.
Kill the Nocturne. I will get the dragon.
Hit the Drake, hit the Drake, hit the Drake, hit the Drake.
Get Drake.
They don't have damage.
Nautilus.
They don't have damage.
Oh.
You guys can win.
You guys can win,
Yeah.
I think. No,
Yeah,
Nocturne's lose.
keep going.
Sion has no mana.
I
They
mean,
don't have damage. They don't have damage.
Nautilus, no flash.
No flash Sion, no ult Sion.
That was so well.
Ja! Ja!
Berserker's already immediately dead. That's 2 picks for free. Going over
Langsam! Peel, Sven! Peelen!
Nothing back. Blabber has already died. Dokla's into the back line. A massive flank coming in from Big Dokes. Sven falls down and Inspired is not done yet. Vulcan and APA try to run, but Lion's not done. Dokla needs a little bit more distance. Can't quite find it. He gets the slice. He gets Ruthless Predator. He gets Vulcan.
Mach Damage!
Trying to return a little bit of something here. And together with APA, they have the damage. As soon as we're out of the replay, it's a 3-for-3 bloodbath in the mid lane.
Yeah, the fighting continues.
Wir müssen für Sven peelen, Mann!
Clutches it for C9 as they're kiting back. His bomb's not going to be able to find anything uninspired, but still trying to do so. What an insane dragon fight, by the way. The call when Berserker flashes in the back of the dragon pit. Anyways, back to live, or excuse me, back to when we got back to live out of the replay. As he said, the action continuing, and they just used everything. Nautilus ult, plus the Nocturne ultimate, plus the Ziggs ult to delete Berserker.
Oh mein Gott, meine Senna hat aber auch gerade Minion angehittet, wenn er TP't ist.
Had the counter.
Habe ich genau gesehen, Sven.
Basically solo kills Sven in the back of that fight. Otherwise, that would have been a C9 fight for sure. They got a double kill on the bot lane instantly to start. Lion 3v5 that, and thanks to Dokla getting back
100 Seelen auf Sven.
off the Senna so quickly, they're able to make that an even trade.
This is some good League of Legends. I like these fights, Flowers.
This is fun, man.
It is getting scrappy down there. The one for the Infernal Soul just has so big of rewards here. The extra damage already was on display in the previous fight. And that previous fight we just saw was with C9 instantly deleting the Lucian at the very beginning of
100 Seelen.
So, let's see what it looks like here as Cloud9
Hey!
vision around the Baron.
Yes.
Ja!
The victim of the C9 wombo combo.
Nicht am Nash choken, bitte. Wir können Nash starten, aber nicht choken. Nicht choken.
Down with kill credit going
Leon ist so OP, nicht choken.
starting up the Baron.
Also bewegt deinen fetten Arsch sofort hierher.
So healthy on this, so LYON will have to respond.
Okay, LYON with the 4v5. Calling, finding a ton of damage here to APA. Thanatos ready to charge in, unstoppable onslaught. Clone used from Inspired. Nice placement on that one. Guarantees no efficacy for the Scion. Dokla still on the backside of the pit. LYON successfully stopping C9 from grabbing the Baron. APA goes ahead and takes a recall.
Okay.
Yeah, he gets his recall off. I was wondering if there's going to be a
Okay.
more aggressive teleport back into it with
Was?
the 4v5 still in place, but they're going to call it at that. He just is safe.
Wir starten nochmal.
To the team and
Okay.
reset up.
20 Sekunden auf Rise, ja.
17 seconds left on this Rise, who will have Realm Warp, though no teleport to get there.
APA.
The Rise
Oh
10
Gott.
seconds away.
Und uns nicht knock-upen lassen vom Nash, bitte. Hallo. Mein Knockdown kann auch nicht für immer tanken. I'm just saying.
Blabber continuing to DPS.
Bitte, bitte, bitte. Oh Gott. Ja. Turn off Dokla ist gut, 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 gut. Und jetzt raus.
Over back onto
Nicht nochmal Nash, nicht nochmal Nash. Ist es zu viel, oder?
Dokla falls, but the Baron stays alive now with Saint.
Und jetzt können die Nash starten. Bitte respektieren.
C9 will not be able to claim the Baron.
Okay.
Another kill they get onto LYON. C9 now up 3,000 gold.
Yeah, they do get a couple kills here, but they realize, all right,
Kriege ich mein AI fertig? Nein, natürlich nicht.
against this Rise at this point in the game to go straight back
Pointless.
to that Baron pit. So it's going to be a play.
Sven hat wieder Flash ab. Sie haben keinen Reach für die Carries.
And we talked a lot about C9.
Noch immer nicht.
The Soul really still giving the advantage to LYON, but we are plus 100 stacks here for Sven. We're at 1,600 plus health here from the Soul.
Lucian AI fertig.
Who is going to be a brick wall. And Blabber has opened up a 2,000 gold lead plus the Serpent's Fang to deal with some of these shields that they have over on the LYON side.
And we're seeing the Cloud9 frontline be incredibly effective even when their opponents have this Inferno Soul. In the previous wraparound Baron, Vulcan is marking the flank there, so he finds Dokla. They know, LYON, if they don't have Dokla flank and Inspired as the main engage, as long as they can mark those players, then they still should be able to keep Sven safe and still should be able to have a good setup for themselves. Not to mention the potency of these picks. Like when they full send all of the ultimates on Cloud9, if you are isolated, you are dead.
Ja, keine Ahnung, warum nicht LDA geht. Also Black lieber für Tankiness. I get it so ein bisschen, aber...
Surviving that. Berserker does have his IE. Sven decided to go for the Hex Optics before the IE, so he's still working on his Infinity Edge. Is sitting on enough gold for the BF sword, but not enough for the combined just yet. And is not going to have time, very likely, if this Elder...
Hey, hey, hey!
Vulcan with a
Keine!
Dokla is found, flashes back over the wall, escapes Mega Inferno Bomb, but losing the Summoner spell plus the Dominus is a large loss of teamfight power here for the Crocodile.
6 Ulti abwarten.
LYON still looking at the Elder,
Wir haben noch Nautilus Ulti.
hanging around the area. They've got everything.
Oh, sie starten, das ist schlau.
Ultis, but those
Wollen nicht so viel Zeit geben. Schaut, Toplane Wave. Warte, was ist das für ein TP?
far.
Hä? Schaut auf den Flank-TP von Dokla. What the fuck?
Here, looking
flank.
around in the enemy jungle, exactly Inspired, using the sweeper, checking to see if he can make his way forward.
Wir haben mit Full Info.
Ready to join back in the fight. He has the shield from the
6 Ulti in 5 Sekunden wieder ab.
Dominus still, remember that. LYON still hanging around, Dragon still at
Ist ein kompletter One-Shot auf Isles.
Thanatos here on the front line, trying to get in the way of anything.
Und Dokla kann nicht mehr auf die Flank kommen.
Elder Dragon down to about half health now. Inspired trading with Thanatos. Dokla seen on the left side of the fight as Saint drops the Realm Warp, but
Wo läuft Sven hin?
Inspired in the middle of everybody here with the Cyclone, but a lot of damage arrives onto Saint. Oh no, he locks up Blabber.
CPA-Flash rüber. Oh, großer Gott. Wer gewinnt? Nein, APA. Sven. Sven. Peeled.
Trying to go after Sven, nearly finds him, but he can't quite.
Nein, sie finishen den Elder. Bitte geh auf Inspired. Nein.
Is invincible. The dragon can't get through the Scion, but the dragon.
Bitte.
The Elder Dragon goes over to Inspired as Dokla, Isles, and Inspired continue trying to fight. Thanatos wants his escape. He's a very tanky Scion, but where in the hell is he supposed to go?
He's going to have to wait for the ultimate and try to drive out of here if he can keep the space. It's up in 2 seconds. He'll be looking for that escape ulti and should be able to get it, but Inspired again gets the objective as they were able to focus down Blabber after his GA, kill him off before Saint and Berserker fell. So even though it feels like C9 are winning the fight, as soon as the Elder goes to Lion, it doesn't matter. You got to run.
Yeah, the Lion, the calls there were so good in the team fight. They used the Realm Warp to force pressure as we're going to see the Scion get chased down and the Elder Dragon.
Oh, Isles tried to go for the Flash Ultra Mega Fire Kick, but it hits you first, it slows you, and then when it...
AI fertig bei Sven. Aber kein Flash.
So he doesn't get the
Oh Gott. Gib Nash, bitte. Wir fighten nicht gegen Elder. Bitte, bitte, bitte. Gib einfach Elder. Er gibt Nash.
Nothing worse than a slow blue.
Unlucky.
That's not what you want.
Immer noch winning.
Unless you're Thanatos.
Thanatos loves a slow blue.
Loves
That's
it.
great.
Always said that.
This is actually such a...
Hat er gemisst, auf den Minion geblockt.
There. When Lion used the Realm Warp to put the pressure on the back line and then they kind of chase him around, Saint actually buys a lot of time flashing back around the other side of the fight and really opened up the opportunity for Lion to take down Cloud9's jungler and earn themselves...
Gib.
By proxy, usually does earn you the Baron as well.
I feel like Elder earns you whatever you want on the map, usually,
So
considering...
Baron is up then.
Yeah, Baron kind of falls under the everything umbrella, and Lion will be happy to take that one. The C9 gold lead now shrunk down below 2,000. As Lion still has
Gut, fertig.
Elder for a little bit longer than
Danke.
for the next 2.5 minutes, and they're pushing top
Kiefer tut weh vom
Look
Niesen.
at these waves. You know, there's nothing really happening here on the bot side. Mid wave is pretty new.
Clear. Elder. Noch 10 Sekunden oder sowas. Noch 30 Sekunden.
Does use the ult. They just got to
Eine Wave, noch eine Wave.
time here. They know they
Nur noch eine Wave. 120 Stacks. Bitte, bitte. Ihr outscaled so hart. Ihr outscaled 100%.
at all. That is going to run
100% outscaled ihr.
And that is
Noch 15 Sekunden, Elder. Bitte nicht auf der Wave verlieren.
EA committed the ult, like you're saying. Just nuke that wave. Make sure that they can't force the fight right now. They're going to go ahead and try anyway as the Realm Warp arrives in. Doke's going into the back line. Inspired's taken low here at the very start, and Blabber already kills him off. Blabber trying to get away.
Elder, jetzt out.
But Doke will grab the kill.
Ihr Motherfucker!
Thanatos going to die now too. The brick wall has fallen as Lion break their way into the enemy base at the very end of the Elder Dragon.
Elder's out.
It is a 4v3 as Berserker and the rest of Lion tried to charge forward. Berserker the healthiest here.
Sven, bitte.
This Lucian very, very strong. Sven has a ton of range here on his Senna.
Er ist so OP. Ihr könnt halten, ihr könnt 100% halten.
Already fallen.
Ihr könnt 100% halten.
Berserker down to 1/3 HP now. As Lion don't look like they'll be able to continue a whole lot
Oder?
further, but they are going to keep trying. Dokeless still clearing out the
Schlag ihn tot!
side waves.
Ja!
Campfire here trying to keep Berserker healthy.
Ult!
And
Haben wir nicht.
He's healthy enough, but just barely. Lion are forced back.
Yeah, they're going to be forced back here. Dokla just getting the dominance back now. If he had that a little bit earlier, if he had his flash, which is coming back up a little bit earlier, they probably could have closed out the game.
130 Seelen, bitte, bitte, ihr habt outscaled. Ich bin mir so sicher.
That fight, even though they lose their front line,
Ich bin mir so sicher, ihr habt outscaled.
still alive, they still have a chance, and they are still scaling. 132 Senna stacks now. 1,700 plus health here for the Scion from the Soul Furnace. Death cap
Meine Senna geht GA.
critically as well for AP.
Okay.
The IE's been done for a while. So these guys are reaching that terrifying late game status. Lion is still in control of the game. They still have all their tier 2s. But
Cyril das bei
late in the
Inspired.
game,
Was?
one bad team fight, that doesn't really matter. You can just march down and end it.
Yeah, and the potential again for these picks.
30 Sekunden noch auf
can be
Nash.
so devastating. Looks like C9 fully corralled in their
Oh Gott, warte, die schauen für Rise Ulti, oder?
Berserker's not going to waste any time. He even goes past the tower as it's falling. But with super minions on top side, it's very easy to just push mid and bottom at the moment. Keep the siege up. Baron empower these cannon minions. And they do
Gleich Nash aus, plus Flash bei Sven ab.
Only have that empowerment for the next 20 seconds. Guardian Angels also up and running on not just Inspired, but Berserker as well. Completed that purchase after the recall from the previous push. Lion still up with their Infernal Soul, still up about 2,000 gold. That gold lead doesn't mean a whole lot. 41
Nash out.
into game number 1 here in this best of 5 series. C9 held on to the lead for a very long time, but now Lion is back in full control, and it's less than a minute and a half until the next Elder Dragon.
Ein Smite-Duell.
It's going to come down to these Elder fights. Obviously, Infernal Soul is still a very good advantage, but when you're accounting for all of the scaling on C9, the game starts to feel very even besides the map state, where they have that open and him top side. You know, they have knocked down more structures. They are closer to winning the game, but Senna and Scion are so strong this late that it is always really
140 Seelen, nochmal mehr Range.
trying to work towards the GA of his own. Blabber's has come back off cooldown. Inspired and Berserkers, though, theirs are up and ready. Zhonya's is ready for Saint, so it's tough
Und Flash bei Sven ab.
on these carries from LYON, where APA's got no defensives, Sven has no GA, so if you can get on APA or Sven and burst them down, that could be like
Der hat so viel Range, Mann.
What Dokla's been trying to do in every single one of these.
Oh Gott, wir werden geflankt.
See the Renekton swooping around for the engage, but now immediately Inspired's onto APA. The Zig staying alive for now, trying to get himself away. Saint does damage into the back.
Sven Flash!
Vulcan's already down. Dokla goes on a killing spree. Blabber's under pressure. Mega Inferno Bomb coming in from the right, but Berserker has already killed off Sven. C9 scrambles. C9 tries. C9 dies, and it's LYON applying fangs to throats as they find their team fight win. 42 minutes into the game, a clean 5-0 to end game one.
Game number one certainly delivering. C9 tried, but LYON are gonna take it.
They'll march this one on to the Nexus. What a battle! 43 minutes on the clock as the Nexus finally falls. If this is any indication, we are in for one hell of a series as LYON starts one up.
And I gotta say, Dokla in the late game on this Renekton was insane in these fights. He was always finding great angles. The use of the Realm Warp and his flanks was fantastic.
Yup.
I would not have thought that 42 minutes in, the Renekton would be more useful than the Scion. What do you think, Lounge?
I think these are the two best teams in the LCS right
Let's
now.
go!
That game was decided by so many different small things. It's hard to pick what to cover. But
There are so many things big.
I will
Dokla was
say,
also big.
the Infernal Soul was pretty big. So let's break down the Pagoda moment.
Ein 50-50. Ein einziges 50-50 und das Game war free. Ich muss
fight. And I'm
pinkeln.
skipping a little bit ahead just to show how crazy
Ein
this
50-50.
was.
This is nicht
As
real, by the
Inspired
way.
has already lost his GA by the time that I'm starting this clip, and it just becomes a massive battle within the pit. I will say though, in terms of the actual fight, C9 getting their carries trapped in here, and Saint holding position out here, and Berserker holding position out here, gives LYON a much better attack position for this fight. But the magic comes down to when Blabber goes into GA, Inspired decides to just burst the Drake down, gets the secure to give them a soul. But earlier, he kind of pulled a rabbit out of his hat with this Drake because the fight is going wrong for LYON as Vulcan landed a good engage, Zigzalt over the top. It does look like C9's about to turn the game, and then basically in this 1v3 with the Drake at about 2,000 health, Inspired just magically manages to pop his Cyclone, get the knock-up. He'd already killed Vulcan, smite secure with his Q. Those two Drakes eventually led to them having enough power for the Infernal Soul to win in the late game. So spam chat with the Pagoda mode if you see a Pagoda-worthy play. But guys, what an insane game.
That was so good. I'm so sad we don't have like more time to break so many more fights down. Like from the very beginning where they're playing around the pushing bot lane, invading Blabber, killing him in his jungle. It's like, oh man, Inspired once again. They'd set up this play around a pushing bot and kind of had downloaded where he was going to be.
This just reminds me of all the storytelling we talked about at the beginning of the day of like Cloud9 in moments of past Split 2 finals. Like game states are positive, really positive. But let's just take a look at the player of the game who ended up winning that one. It's actually a tie between Dokla and Inspired.
You get to break the tie.
You guys get to choose.
Fan vote, the late game Renekton or the Smite Secures.
That's a big doke so far.
Big
dokes.
It's going to
Keep voting because in 5, 4, 3,
2,
1.
It's
remaining
it's locked in.
Yeah.
Dokla wins player of the game.
Healing war so disgusting, so disgusting, disgusting. Beide Carries die ganze Zeit isoliert außerdem.
By Berserker here, we can see on
Also,
So pathetic.
the gold graph, right? Because this game was very winnable for C9, especially with the scaling they have built into their composition.
It's just
like,
it's the objectives though, Raz.
Yeah.
You count the objectives.
Yes.
Mountain Dragon.
Yes.
Infernal. Hextech, Grubbies, Elder, Baron, just completely dominated there by Inspired. And I do want to revisit, we were talking about this, what is going on with Inspired versus Blabber?
Yeah.
Because we know how much Blabber thinks about jungle pathing. He sleeps, he dreams about it, but it feels like every single time, like this game, we didn't get to cover it, but the early jungle invade steals his blue, kills him on Gromp. It feels like every time.
Da haben wir gegen Top Esports heute 3-0 Top Esports. Kompletter Stomp.
Blabber played well aside from that early lead, but
Yes.
then Inspired had the early invade, he had all the smites, and he just sneaks out the victory.
That's why it feels like historically when they go up against each other, like we talked about at the beginning of the day, it's like C9 had so many great game states. Their team fighting was great. Vulcan found some really clutch flash hooks on
Meinem Dank für den 17.
either Inspired or someone really important, and they found a really good target.
Ein 50-50, bitte, Mann.
Making it hard for him to really enter fight without ulti, or the same would be for the Rise. But then it would still not matter because Inspired will still steal the Drake and now make it about them playing for Soul. And then Elder. And then Elder again.
Remember, the last 5 times Inspired's had a series that will qualify him for an international event, he has won. The last 6 times Blabber has had that, he has lost.
Yeah.
Blabber now needs to win 3 of the next 4 to get that win. Game 2's next, but first, let's take another look at our Kia All-Pro first team.
Thanatos going for the all-in here. Dominus picks it easy. Thanatos with the solo kill. Immediately, quickness, stuff, charm down, Jose Neono. And Jose Neono hops right back in. And Lion just found the exact fight they need.
Okay. Kein Problem. Einfach nochmal Drop gewinnen. Ist okay. Einfach nochmal Drop gewinnen. Und einfach Drakes, bitte. Drakes. Einfach Drakes. Einfach Drakes, bitte. Drakes.
C9 wants to clean up more of these kills, and Vulcan with the 2-man binding.
All right, shopkeeper time. What are we doing for this build?
First pick, 564 miles of range.
This should last us a while. What's next?
Lane economy is key.
Okay, how about 30 miles to the gallon then? It's a high tempo pick.
We can't neglect power. How about 329 HP?
We can buy one more item. What about vision? The map's fully lit. We're not missing anything.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
And Rez, hey, support means support. No running off this time.
That was just a one-time thing!
Spart nicht First All Pro, ja, die sind obviously delusional. Aber, ja. Ist fein.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Rich in the ground before Dove can even get there. In time to try to knock out as Impact gets bursted.
Don't feed.
Einfach Draft gewinnen.
Get fed. Scan the QR code for deals only on Uber Eats.
Hello? Whoa. Mama Gorgon 85 lives here?
Yep, that's my mom.
The absolute legend who went from gaming on her phone to ruthless online streaming slayer with no mercy for any living thing is your mom?
Hey guys. Apples with
Dann
peanut.
halt 3-1 hinein. Ist auch okay.
It's possible.
With AT&T Wireless and Home
Ist auch okay.
Text me if you need anything.
Level up your connection with AT&T Wireless and Home Internet, now available across the nation.
No, she's so nice in real life.
Muss der schon gezündet, ja.
Okay. That's flash. Nocturne and Nautilus could come there.
Okay, guys. Come on, team.
I'm fine. Okay, it's top.
I'm fine. Nice.
Yo, guys, we should go in now. We should go in now.
Illusion dash.
I'm watching.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I'm tanky. Hey, we're going now.
Rise dead. Look who
I kill myself.
Look who
Yeah.
Flash.
You want to drink?
Yeah. Flash it.
Nice. I'm looking jigs. They are stuck. In the pit. They are stuck.
Coming to you.
Kill Dirk.
Kill the Nocturne. I will get the dragon.
Hit the Drake. They don't have damage. Oh, you guys can win. Just play slow.
No, Nocturne slow.
Keep going. Yeah.
I'm 50-50.
Ziggs.
Notice is gonna die in the front. How is it, guys?
Ziggs flashed and W. Ziggs flashed and W already.
I'm looking Nocturne.
Senna.
Yeah, Senna.
Nocturne, Ziggs no flash, okay?
We're killing Senna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ziggs no flash.
If you don't die, it's really good.
Nocturne.
Wait. Nice.
Nice, guys.
Ist okay. Alles noch winnable. Alles winnable. Alles noch winnable. Das ist okay. Oh. Okay. Ja, gemeins. Ja, war schon sehr gut. Also war schon ein Banger. War schon ein Banger. Okay.
So we make guarantee Korea. We're going for MSI or bootcamp.
Yeah,
But
awesome.
I hope we're going for MSI.
Same. Same.
Because MSI is Daejeon. You know Daejeon in
Yeah,
Korea?
yeah.
It's my father place.
Oh,
my
nice.
father's home.
Nice.
So I have to go.
Is your father gonna come watch us? If
Think
we
so. I mean, my father.
He fucking better. No? Yeah, he
my,
better.
my father watch my every game.
Yes.
Because he likes sports.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. I mean, it is his home, right? So he has to come.
Yeah, he has to come.
He has to come.
Ist er Verlierer im Lore? Ja, Verlierer ist im Lore. Gegen Team Liquid am Samstag.
Man,
Kommenden
Thanatos'
Samstag.
dad watches all his games. He loves the competition and the opportunity to qualify not just for the team's first international in 3 years, but in your dad's like hometown.
city, yeah.
That's crazy.
It is really, really cool because you don't often get those opportunities.
Mach Draft an.
We think about some of these players who have played for a long time, but
Mach
it's
Draft
not
an
always
sofort.
easy for their parents to be able to travel and actually watch
Yeah.
them play. So that's definitely some extra motivation here from Thanatos, who I thought had a really good first game, but you're playing a tank. There's only so much you can do at the end of the day. You know, when it comes down to these team fights, it is so much about the carries, and LYON did an amazing job. We were just talking, using those realm warps, getting into the backline, pressuring the Ziggs and the Senna, and just showing why this team is world class.
Yeah, all
So.
right. Let's see if they can do it here for Thanatos.
C9 First Pick gewählt. Okay.
Or if LYON are going to make this one look like the lock-in finals.
Well, they're going to go to Korea for a boot camp, so he's going to see his dad. The question
Either
is
way,
he in
yeah.
the stands with his dad, or is he on stage with his dad watching?
Javan First Pick ist offen. Also Javan ist offen. Karma ist noch offen.
Don't forget,
Oriana noch offen.
today, it's not like you're out of contention for MSI. Today's winner
Die Force Nakal, Oriana Bahn auf 3. Bekommen dann First Pick, den sie holen.
automatically go to the finals in Arizona next weekend, but the
Hä?
loser will meet TL in that lower bracket final next Saturday for the chance to still compete for the title and still compete to be that #1 seed there at MSI. As Lee Sin and Cassiopeia are banned out by LYON, C9 elected to go for first pick, LYON elected to go on the blue side.
To Zach, I like it.
I don't know if we're going to see a Zach, man.
We're not,
It's
but
been a
I
while
like the
since we've seen
poster.
Zach. I mean, we're more likely to see Zach than we are the Bar Junk
Karma offen.
previous guy's poster had. I think that Zach is more likely than that one. Other side's going to go ahead, ban out Akali.
Javan Karma offen.
Seraphine banned out by LYON.
So they want to put the pressure on bottom lane instead of giving
Es war knapp.
the Silas or the Silas like respect ban isn't there from Cloud9 this time around. They banned the Oriana and the Akali instead.
Okay.
So we put more pressure on
Geben Javan damit.
Seraphine ban instead. With the Lucian Emilio being gone, that kind of rises in priority because that's the favorite counter.
Die werden Ezreal wahrscheinlich wegnehmen, oder?
And so it opens up for C9 to do the poke. The Ezreal Karma here is definitely a very
Ezreal Javan.
possibility.
But Varus is also up, right?
Ansonsten gibt es halt Ezreal plus Javan.
So you're choosing Karma or Varus. I do think we're just going to see Varus from Berserker here, very, very likely.
Okay, Varus, ja, okay, dann Varus Javan, aber
To the Karma lane, so you have kind of your two, I don't want to say permanent ban, but as close as you're going to get there on that bot side. And it is going to be that matchup. So we'll see if Sven and Vulcan can create an advantage with that expected Ezreal, or if Berserker and Isles can get some work done here with the Varus.
Right. Do we want to go ahead and just immediately lock the support here for
Sollten Jarvan locken oder nicht?
pressure on that because the other team
Oder sich was nicht baut.
but they will go ahead, lock in.
Ezreal Jarvan.
Bard makes a lot of sense. I was just kind of looking through the champions that he's playing and thinking, if you want to go lane dominate, that makes the most sense of the champions that are up and available because the Nico is obviously banned out. That's another good pairing if you're going to be playing with the Poke Varus. And they know they are going to be playing into Ezreal Karma almost guaranteed. So you have to have some laning power there.
Ezreal Jarvan.
We're going to be matching fire with fire here down in that bot lane 2v2.
And then what are they going to grab for Blabber this time around? Do they want... Okay, so they go for the Jhin. The Jhin with the...
Ihr gebt Jarvan? Okay, ich wollte gerade sagen, pick Jarvan.
Very good Jhin game versus FlyQuest and hit the 13 kills.
Game 5. Smacked him. And I will say, Jhin is...
Gut.
A lot of people feel like it's the more stable laner compared to Ezreal, so I think they're saying, okay, if we're going to be going up against Bard and Varus, that's pretty scary. Maybe we want that kind of more, just stable lane, but risky.
And there's the answer to the Blabber question, because you go straight for something that can punish the Varus. No mobility on that Varus, so Jarvan here, the lock-in very, very quickly. And with a Victor as well, those are two great targets for
Cataclysm Mewtwo.
Yeah, Blabber to
catch them both in the pit.
Try and get a lot of work done. Try and blow flashes off those carries.
Ist eine Option.
All right, so we've got mid laner plus bot lane duo versus jungler plus bot lane duo. Remember last time around, everything was mirrored in the first half of the draft, so we only saw solo lane bans in the second phase.
Yeah, and very likely you're going to have that kind of flip bans, right? LYON is probably going to be banning mid laners, and C9 may be banning some of these junglers, so TF going to be taken off the table. I feel like APA, obviously he is a Zig specialist, but then beyond that, I feel like he really does well on facilitators, on champions that can set up engages, that can look for these ways to start fights. Annie is another champion that he is very strong on. I don't know if they're going to ban the Annie or not, though, because Victor is considered a pretty good matchup into Annie.
Bangelbands.
Not going to worry about him having comfort.
Yeah, exactly. The Victor, I always feel like every time we see the
Now 40 seconds.
The conversation is always like, yeah, this kind of sucks to play as Annie because every time you try to step up to the wave, you get lasered and he just pokes you at a range.
I mean, they could try and do, if you're talking about facilitators, he has done like the Galio and just kind of like tank it into that.
The dunk buddy.
And then you'd use, the dunk buddy for the Jarvan, do Cataclysm plus Galio. If both those enemy carries are both low mobility, then maybe you actually can get that wombo to work.
Yeah, definitely could make sense. I think my
Aurora.
There it is. They were thinking the same.
Nicht Annie gegen Victor, nicht Annie gegen Victor, nicht Annie. Gewinnen sie mir für C9.
Would be they're pretty low on damage if they went that way anyway, which they obviously won't.
Nicht Annie.
Plus potential Galio, so obviously Thanatos could bring the damage.
Und Banner 4.
Lane. And it is just going to be continually thinning the pool here for Inspired, you have to think. Unless there is a particular matchup that Thanatos maybe wants to avoid on top side. And
Looks
so
like he does.
They are going to take this away. Rumble is still up and available. Usually it's just grabbed so early. Cassante is a matchup
Last pick jungle.
do like to take into the Rumble. And so now with
Thanatos spielt on.
Lion's like, thanks. We'll,
Quay plus on.
Yeah, we'll take that. But you could still answer with Ornn if you want to go another tank. But that being said, I feel like for C9, do you want Thanatos, who is such a standout player,
Way on.
back playing tanks in the top lane, just being that facilitator? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to say I know, but I'm not qualified at all. Like, I've never been a pro player or a coach, but I wouldn't want that. I want my standout player standing out.
I also think Thanatos himself is probably like, all right, that was enough tank time. Time for me to get some kills.
I did my laps. Tag me in. All right, let's go ahead and get
Am besser.
We'll see that
Am besser.
locked in here for C9.
Am besser.
APA saying,
Nicht on. Am besser.
This is one of his most
Oh mein Gott.
And Aurora will be the pick into the Rumble there in the top side. The big thing I'm noticing here on C9, there's really no front line. Like, you've got Jarvan.
Wenn die jetzt nach 4 picken, ist es so fucking fucked.
No true tank here. So if anybody gets caught out by the Bard, followed up by an Equalizer, you're in trouble.
But look at the other side. Where's the tank on that team? There's no tank
They
yet
still
on
have
either
one left
side.
to pick.
Oh Lord, have mercy on my soul.
I got you, bro. Let's see, Conqueror Black.
Oh mein Gott.
Found. So
0 tanks.
Oh fucking 8, man.
Position here, you have to be really careful. You talk about the Bard. Yeah, if you get caught by the Bard into Chains of Corruption, into the Gravity Well, all these tools from LYON, that's very scary. But also Flash Tibbers plus Cataclysm plus Between Worlds, all of these tools are also terrifying. So it is going to be a very explosive game. I do love the Nefuri, though, the ability to go in and to utilize that Call to Pack to be able to go immune and dodge away from some of these abilities.
Especially because it's Inspired versus Blabber, and Nefiria is very good at invading and being able to escape a lot of these situations. So if I was Inspired too, you definitely want something where you can go for some invade pressure and try and get some vision down to track a Jarvan is really going to help out your lanes.
I mean, I was going to say, I really like Nefiria just into Jhin, a champion that wants to root himself and stay very far away. You've got the ability to just go ahead and use
Ich glaube, der Draft ist komplett cooked.
Gibbles and bits. Puppy chow. Nice.
Ich glaube, der Draft ist komplett
He
cooked.
only has 4 shots, and you have the ability to go untargetable, and you can just get out of there for the big 4th one. Then that's going to be a pretty nice way to tank. You just avoid a large portion of the damage.
The easiest way to survive the damage is not get hit by the damage.
Don't get hit by any.
Yeah, I like that. That's the LCK solution. Simply be better than your opponent, and you will win.
This one should be a banger, though. I agree.
I'm excited, man.
When you have big damage and no big tanks,
Okay.
should be exciting. Also puts more
Playoffs Finale, nein, Upper Bracket Finale.
You see
Finale ist nächste Woche
in the
Sonntag.
arena, C9 did run straight down mid. They got the first kill on a ward.
Exactly. And it was a good ward, though, over the wall because APA was looking to be able to try to find someone with that Q stun, right? He had pinged in chat, Q ready, level 1, and they were just running straight in to see if they could find someone in a dangerous spot.
And Cloud9 have done this several times, so, you know, good level 1 scouting where they either do it towards bot side or towards the mid lane. When they run Annie, APA runs with the bottom lane, you know, into one of those lanes and tries to get an early chunk on somebody. This time they did go for it towards the mid, but
Bottom Push ist sehr wichtig, sonst wird wieder invaded.
was scouted out. And we have opposite clears for the jungles, so is going to be putting pressure on that volatile matchup up top side. Aurora into Rumble is very elusive, especially
Sehr gut.
Santos is the Aurora.
We had that week 1 with all these 5-game series, you know, C9 versus Fly, then Lion versus TL, and now here in week 3, our 5th and 6th seed are already gone, so we're getting this top 4 here once again. Had a fun series yesterday between Fly and TL, and today, so far, game 1 absolutely delivering. It really does feel like between these top 4 teams, anyone could have won. Obviously, FlyQuest can't now that they're eliminated, but it has been a fun set of playoff games.
And as we get into
Wann wurde da gehealt, damit sie den vierten, also C9 heal, damit sie den 4. Shot bekommen, Lion heal, damit sie den 4. Shot nicht bekommen.
With an arrow, kind of watching a little bit of the early laning phase. Talk to me about what you said to the team after kind of a disappointing game 1 loss.
We honestly just talked draft next game. We usually don't focus too much on the game prior because a lot of it's
Oh mein Gott,
very
mir
champion
ist
specific, and those champs obviously aren't going to be in anymore. So we just went straight to the next game and focused on that. We had a pretty unfortunate start to the game too, to be honest. And we kept the game pretty active and pretty, you know, contested. Like it was a solid game still overall. I'm sure it was fun to watch. So just focus on next.
It was very fun to watch. Talk to me a little bit about this draft. We can see they've already managed to get Prio in this 2v2. So just talk to me about how this composition is going to end up working against what Lion have brought out.
Yeah, so we have a lot of early pressure with, I mean, just any Karma lanes generally have this pressure early and you try to get a small advantage off of it, whether in jungle or just in lane for yourself. So we're trying to snowball that into something early that we have and just try to keep the ball rolling with Annie, Karma, all these champs that are really solid in engages, solid early, solid team fights. So not too much to go into after that. It's really just you're playing the game, play the game around you. Our game plan is just really focused on what we can do for bot early and our jungle matchup early to play.
All right, well, all the best. Thank you so much for taking the time, and we'll toss it back to the guest.
Yeah, speaking of bot lane and jungle, we talked about the opposite jungle clears. Blabber does end his clear on the bottom side. He gets the grab, no problem, even with the you know, enemy support in his face, has his smite, and just goes into his second clear. But that's the thing with these telegraph jungle clears. You know that the repeat clears are also going to be pointed in those opposite directions. And so bottom lane there for Lion is going to have to be cognizant. Inspired though, he's looking.
Oh mein Gott, ist tot, by the way. Okay.
Already used by Inspired.
Okay.
Try to close a little bit of extra.
Warum the Aluminium by Crux?
Yeah, good early flash there from APA. If you flash late, Inspire probably can just flash and follow and finish you. But I have to point out, Berserker already TPing back to lane and did not have a great buy. It was just the tier. That's it. Whereas on the other side, it was Longsword and Boots for Sven. They had the push, and just a couple of those missed CS really cost Berserker from getting a better buy. So now as C9, you've got that TP down, and if they're able to create an edge in this 2v2 once again, it might actually stick because there is no teleport.
Oh, Dokla now under pressure here from the top side, slowed down by the weirding. Blabber makes his entry. Goes for the EQ combo, but a nice flash from Dokla gets him away.
Okay, so both junglers taking a little time, you know, out of their second clears to blow some flashes for the
Lions geht besser. Ich glaube, I mean, Karma ist auch sehr strong. Sehr mittlerweile consistent in NA, ja.
Now, since he saw Blabber use the time after Krugs to go for the top gank, Inspired is on that.
Also kurz für Erwartungshaltung. Ich denke, diese beiden Teams sollten zur MSI gehen, right?
And here comes
Oh mein
Miles
Gott.
and Inspired together. Sven is the target, tries to flash away, escapes for now. First
Die Flasche hier.
hits him. Inspired goes forward and he finds.
Das Game ist over. No, ich weiß genau, dieser Draft ist nicht winnable. Es ist nicht winnable. Ich weiß es ganz genau. Dieser Draft ist nicht winnable. Ich weiß es. Es ist so obvious. Dieser Draft ist nicht winnable. Lower Bracket Finale ist schon auch durch. Verlierer hier von Spiel gegen Team Liquid am Samstag.
From your opponent, and he's like, well, Blabber just did his Krugs because you can count his CS up there doing the Krugs. Goes for the top lane gank. Fine, you burned Dokla's flash. I'm gonna kill your bottom lane. He wraps around, and it's a really good, you know, alter choice here for him. As you say, now there's no flash or barrier on the Jhin, and it's first blood.
Kannst du erklären, warum? Ja, weil dieser Draft super positionabhängig ist.
Such a good play there for LYON.
Ist super positionabhängig. Und was hat sie in Game 1 richtig schlecht gemacht? Position um Fights herum gemacht. Ich denke, dass Inspired auf Silent beide Carries abfarmen kann. Sowohl Thanatos als auch APA können easy abgefarmt werden. Ich glaube, Teamfighten wird super schwierig für Sven. Potenziell auch für Vulcan. Inspired hat einen easy Serpent's Fang Angle hier. Ich glaube, die werden in sehr regelmäßigen Abständen gecatcht werden.
Before that comes back up, you know, we might see Inspired down there at level 6 looking for you once again.
And yeah, like, okay, Inspired had to flash after you to kill you, but Nefiri's got so much mobility, she doesn't miss the flash near.
War nicht One-Shot von Annie. Und er missplayt, ja.
The Jarvan coming from behind your own tower.
Und er geht die nächste Wave, by the way, mit Ulti. Und er gibt Blabber nichts.
For Dokla, who now just drops the equalizer to try to clear out the wave. And yeah, he's got nowhere to.
Das war ziemlich disgusting von Dokla, by the way.
So the equalizer not even clearing out all of those minions.
Ziemlich disgusting von Dokla, das zu machen, aber sie verlieren halt den Drake.
To get this wave shoved up.
Yeah, he dropped the equalizer too early. I think he thought he was.
Wir laufen wieder in der Position, in der die zwei Drakes haben, wir den dritten Drake contesten müssen, dann den Fight missplayen oder halt 50-50 nicht gewinnen.
You can see the wave is still mostly gone, so it's not the end of the world, but I think he only got 2 CS.
Carson war noch schlechter.
Usually you can kind of get all the small minions.
Yeah, one of the harpoons also just went straight through the middle too. That could have been one more.
Those minions are evasive.
One more minion.
Juking.
Yeah.
It's like a scuttle
Du laufst da so viel Müll? Was denn zum Beispiel?
Every little minion does count too. Those things really add up, especially when you're playing into Thanatos counter pick Aurora top. Again, Aurora top is one of Thanatos. You know, he jumped on this matchup really early on.
Und sind wir gelegen? Nein, ich bin nein.
How good it could be for the Aurora side. And it's very bursty, you know, with the Electrocute and the Sork Shoes Rush from Thanatos as well. You have the Alternator, so it's just...
Zu wem müssen wir eine LC geben? Das war cool.
From that Aurora.
And the opportunity that he has in this game is so good because it's not just you have a good individual matchup.
Bester Drake, für beide Comms, Hextech.
There are really good targets for the Aurora, so you know if Thanatos gets ahead, this is one where he really could snowball that lead. And Thanatos has been a beast. To me, he was the biggest discrepancy between best and second best in his role out of any role in the league. I thought he was by far and away the number
Beide Comms ohne Tanks.
Great on carries.
Mit limitiertem Hard Engage.
He lanes well, he teamfights well. This guy kind of
Soul Bridge da sehr viel. Hextech Soul.
So getting him on a carry, on a counter matchup, and putting him ahead is really a good recipe for success.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the objectives going to be eaten up here as well by LYON. So Inspired already got the Dragon for them, of course, and so is going to follow it up with the newly buffed Grubs, which the way they went about buffing them, as Blabber clears that ward, and he's not going to finish them out because they did see Blabber, and bottom side should be an exchange. But the way that they buffed the Grubs,
whoa, hold on, Chains of Corruption. They find their way onto Vulcan, but
he has no spells. He used his spells first and then Chains of Corruption, so he didn't actually have any spell to use after. So I'm going to call that one an oopsie from Berserker.
Okay.
But Kobe, I know you were a Grubs hater. So have the Grubs been buffed enough that you like them now?
I mean, they're okay. I was going to say, as the exchanges continue on the bottom side, the way that they buffed them don't really make them more enticing for me personally as the jungler, because you don't get more individual rewards. It just buffs up. It buffs up for your laners.
You're like, that has helped my teammates. That is the most jungler answer.
Was that? Yeah,
that's a jungler answer.
All it does is help my stupid team. I wish they gave more money.
Exactly. exactly, because the way that they nerfed him,
Fair patch is an A-Life patch.
they took the golden experience out of him, which hurts me. But then they buffed up the actual tower killing buff.
Give it back. I want that
Yeah,
gold.
The heck?
Yeah, well, we know our top 3 teams. C9, Lion, TL.
Klasse blocken Import oder nicht? Ne, das spielt ja nicht.
Arizona, so if you haven't gotten your
Also nein.
what are you doing? It's next weekend. Scan the code, get the tickets.
We'll see you there. It should be a fun time over in Arizona as Blabber
Oh
is
Gott.
looking to get things spiced up here in the enemy jungle, invading over
Oh
the
Gott.
pit as Vulcan is forced to flash away. Saint looking to stop the exit here of C9 as Blabber tries to enter right back into the fight, goes for the Cataclysm. Saint's locked up, but Blabber's shot down. Tempered Fate comes in right after the fact too. Remember, Vulcan has already used his flash, slowed down by the hail of arrows, but now Lion's got to be careful. Sven has made his way into the fight. Inspire goes on a killing spree. The dog is hungry. Chains of Corruption fly out, but no target found. Lion.
Oh, ich hab's doch gerade gesagt. Unwinnable Draft.
Use of cooldowns there from Lion. Good fight choice for them.
Es ist so obvious. Es ist so obvious.
EQ on the Bard. They know, okay, big window here for a chance for us to get damage on him while he doesn't have his spells. They force Blabber's flash out. And then for some reason on the re-engage, Blabber decides to go back in after having just burned his flash to escape. And so on the re-engage, Saint can flash away, but Blabber can't, and Lion get the kill. And you look at the decision-making from Inspired. He doesn't hesitate at all. He's like, wow, you just use your combo on my support, and I'll stun him against the wall. Perfect chunk there. They get the flash out of the Jarvan. And then, yes, you can wait.
Yep, back in live. Thanatos already committed the ulti as APA tries to go for the dive underneath the turret. Dokla staying alive for now, but he is overheated. Tagged by the Weirding with a twofold hex,
FF.
also slowing him down. Lion bringing in back up now. Thanatos slowed, but he is not caught up here in the binding. Thanatos escapes, goes between worlds. Berserker wants to get that shot.
Okay.
Doesn't hit the piercing arrow.
Oh, no.
As APA is stunned to the wall.
Oh no, 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 no.
And now he's going to lose the summoner spell and his life as Saint shows up behind the turret just when Thanatos thought he might have been safe. Nope, here's Victor.
Yeah, Thanatos was able to juke Berserker on the snipe, but then Saint comes over.
Ich hab Allchat gehört außerdem.
Victor hobbles over with his cane and finishes the job, and that's even worse for them to get more money into the Victor.
Yeah, that is equals worth. Well, you know what? It wasn't worth. Maybe it was Dworth. We don't know the definition because Dokla bought so much time here. The wave had already been cleared out, and Dokla realizes this is coming. And look at the flash. Flashes away. APA looked like he tried to do W flash and just wasn't able to actually connect with it. So Dokla hits him with the electric harpoons, buys time. Varus TP's top. Not only at the end of the day do they get the 2 kills, they get the flash, or rather, excuse me, the TP off of APA, the flash off of APA, then they deny a wave, and they get a plate, and they get the extra kill. So this was amazing here for Lion.
Yeah, I mean, APA tried to go for the teleport because he saw Isles do the flash there to try and connect his Q, and Isles wasn't able to connect his Q onto Thanatos, but the cooldown came up in time.
Nice dog lag.
Worth? I'd say it was worth.
Yeah, I mean, Dokla was making a lot of time. And,
oh, hold on.
Oh, großer Gott, man hört mein Suffering auf.
Launches the Tempered Fate, but he's the first one to die. Saint doesn't have the damage to finish the burst onto the Cloud9 mid laner. As Vulcan also chunked low, but he's not in any mortal danger. Blabber now guarantees that Saint can't follow any further, so Lion and Isles just getting a little bit ahead of themselves there, trying
1-4-0.
pick, and C9 has the punish.
Yeah, I don't think they realized that Blabber was that close. They tried to pick off APA, knowing he had no flash from the topside play, which would have been a good angle, but Blabber comes in, ruins their fun, and APA able to survive and get out. Isles now, though, just completed his Mikhail's same timing, really, as Vulcan, who has completed his as well. There's not that many engage tools. The Mikhail's is going to be really valuable.
yeah, definitely will be. See how well they can utilize it as he roams up to the top side. It's also worth noting with the Dragons evened up, you know, during our little...
Nope, we don't even have time, Kobe. They are not letting you finish your points today. As once more, it's Lion trying to find a move here, but Thanatos gets himself away for now. Inspire tries to jump over the wall, get himself involved.
Sind die 2 Top-Teams auf jeden Fall.
Space to stay safe for now.
Vergleich zur LEC, keine Ahnung. Schwierig zu sagen. G2 ist schon ganz schön gut. KC also auch nicht schlecht. Schwer zu sagen.
So, C9 wants to protect Thanatos, and Lion wants to knock this guy down. He does have his rocket belt here, and is going to be a big threat in the team fights, but if they can continually force him to use these cooldowns defensively, obviously it takes a lot of his individual agency away and denies him the ability to try to abuse some of these matchups.
Yeah, he really is the hope. And the Aurora,
Das wäre nicht so dumm für C9, ich glaube schon, ja.
possible kills, but
Ja, schon. Also,
start getting these on
das heißt M-Convertility, of course.
damage, then the possible carry here from Saint Victor is looming, and
Natürlich.
I've been hovering around him, making sure this Victor income can stay steady for LYON, continue scaling up for these team fights, because the range advantage over the Annie is just so nice. He can just continually proc the Deathfire touch, get these poke little lasers on APA. If they're left unattended, or especially if the supports are circling around and getting all this deep vision, as you can see, lots of deep vision here through the jungle to make sure the Victor can just continue to farm safe.
Deathfire touch, Blackfire torch, dots on dots on dots. Every time the laser hits you, it's just that HP bar getting whittled lower and lower as Saint crashes another wave into the turret. Both supports hanging around the area, but nobody wants to overextend into anything crazy here. Vulcan will be pushed back here by another destruction ray, and that makes it easy for LYON to clear out the vision in the Tribe Rush, as Inspired has already started up the Rift Herald. Blabber is in the neighborhood. But right now, this objective is going all LYON's way, and it doesn't look like C9 can do anything about it.
Yeah, Inspired. With the Rift Herald too, you are kind of expecting Inspired. I feel like 9 times out of 10, he uses it in a fight. It's not even usually 4 towers. He's going to do it at some objective, either run through people, use it as an escape tool. So it does make it more exciting. Looking forward to the next one.
And with that big gold lead, he already has 2 items done. Cyclosword and Shojin already complete here at 15 minutes. So he is super fed, and he has the battle.
Ja, der CEO.
Is ready to
Komplett OP. Komplett OP.
Because Karma is much less adept at that sort of play style. They can go over walls. They can be anywhere and attack you from so far with this Bard plus the Fury.
And I love how the analyst desk set it up at the beginning of the day, but Inspired himself has truly been the kryptonite of Cloud9 over
Die haben immer eine Rumble, die für Botwave.
Ben in North America when he was on FlyQuest.
Hier jetzt zum Beispiel, er sollte sie jetzt schon zünden, by the way.
Is about to be the recipient.
Was macht er? Hat sie doch gesehen. Viel zu spät, ergibt gar keinen Sinn. Da vielleicht zu verlieren ist Quatsch, großer Quatsch. Ja, aber es ist dann natürlich wieder besser wieder für LYON. Wegen mit dem Shoot. Sind wir für C9.
A lot of move speed, Ghostblade, and the Swifties to be able to avoid that. But back to the point you're talking about, Kobe, I mean, Inspired has been their kryptonite and has been Blabber's kryptonite. And really, ever since he came into the league, Blabber has not really been able to get back to that #1 jungle spot that he has been hunting for all time in best of 5s. You know, this is not just game score, this is best of 5 score, 7-1. Even though Blabber stats-wise has been doing well in the game.
Mit der Regular Season ausgegangen, 2-0 C9, aber es war Woche 1.
Inspired, but Inspired always seems to come with those big moments, and you look back to game 1, the steals on the objectives, the ability to find these flanks and engages.
Yeah.
Inspired is just the king of team fights when it comes to junglers.
He is so good, and we even saw it last game, right? The clutch smite secures, right? Going after those Drakes.
Haben wir lange 15 Grüße.
Like he shouldn't be able to steal them away. But now we've got the next Drake alive here in this game, as LYON tries to approach the pit. C9 have control for now.
And they're probably wondering where
Was hast du da gerade gemacht? Was hast du da gerade gemacht? Was hat Inspired gerade gemacht? Was hat sie zu... Was? 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 Komplett Firma, oder? Oh Gott. Warum sind wir da rein, Blabber? Ey, Junge, dass wir diesen Play nicht gewinnen. Es ist so fucking crazy.
But it is LYON winning 2 for 1 in the trade.
And Cloud9 might have been able to kill Inspired this time around with some focus on him. Very clearly, everyone.
Ey, also den Play zu verlieren nach dem massiven Int von Inspired ist so crazy.
Midlaner and AD carry on his team, and Saint and Berserker are pumping damage.
Yeah, exactly. Dokla and Saint on the side got Thanatos very low, so when Thanatos goes back in for the re-engage, look at his health. He's just dead instantly. Can't really do anything. The rest of LYON, they lose their jungler, but they kite back. They play it incredibly well. And I was kind of confused how that Tibbers missed onto Inspired, because he had Call of the Pack for after he got hit by the ultimate from Blabber. So I guess it was just a straight up whiff, or maybe he like W Tibbers at the same time and accidentally used the stun on the W. I didn't quite catch that, because when the replay started, it was after that sequence had begun. If they had just been able to kill him off instantly, that could have been pretty different.
Yeah, it looks like just a little bit short there. Not quite in range.
But you guys can see right now, C9's LCS series results, they've won a lot of series. Unfortunately for them, the one loss that was on that chart, that one was the one that really mattered.
So here's this play I was talking about. Yeah, Tibbers just barely short there. Does go in for it. Had they been able to land that stun, maybe they burst him down without having to use Cataclysm and some of these other tools that maybe the rest of the team fight does look different. Because at the end of the day, yeah, you killed him, but you used a lot to do it.
And again, I think maybe if C9 played a little slower after they killed
Enough
Inspired,
more.
just got the dragon.
I agree.
But they probably got really hyped up. You know, they're like, we got Inspired. And they just had taken the dragon. So they run a little bit into the other threats. Again, everybody in this game has damage.
Yep.
So there aren't tanks, but everybody else still is a big threat.
Yeah, and Lion just played it so well, and I feel like that has been the big strength from Dokla. You know, obviously there was a lot of talk when Castle joined Lion, and the expectation I think from most people in the community was that this was not a true six-man thing, that Castle was just going to take the spot. But Dokla has been playing so well, and I think the biggest part of that is how he plays the map, how he team fights. Castle has the stronger laning phase, but Dokla just makes the right plays.
The funniest take that I heard about it is they signed Castle specifically because Dokla plays best under pressure. So if Dokla knows there's a guy right behind him just waiting to take the spot, Dokla's going to turn into maximum power Dokla.
Also, it would be nice to have an in-house, you know, 1v1 partner for some of these lane phase things that you're talking about. If you can get practice kind of in hiding there that other teams won't know about, maybe that can help as well, and they can combine their powers.
It's like a Dragon Ball Z.
Interessant, er geht nicht für Serpent-Swing.
Sometimes it's kind of hard though, because other guys.
Die Berserker-Fans für Serpent-Swing?
Yeah.
I mean,
Let me give you some
fair enough.
tips. So what you want to do here is flash into the wall level 1.
Only if you can't flash into the turret, though. The turret's the best place to play.
J-Hund, ja, ist interessant. Oder Deathstance. Oder Deathstance, beides valid.
Last neutral objective claim that they got. However, Lion still leading 2-1 in the grubs. Lion also securing that Herald for themselves. And that Herald usage mid was followed up shortly thereafter by taking both of the tier 1 turrets in the side lane. So Lion, this 4,000 gold lead that they have, a big chunk of it is having a couple extra turrets compared to C9.
But it's so concentrated, which is really, really powerful because, as we always talk about, item completions are way more powerful than item components. And you look at Saint, you look at Inspired, they're both already on 2 items. They're both already working towards their third and have an expensive component working in that way. So Inspired and Saint are going to be so problematic that, you know, if you're trying to dive on Saint and you're ignoring Inspired, he might just shred your backline. If you try to go for Inspired, well, we saw what can happen in the team fight that time.
Yeah, definitely true. And the experience also matters a bit too. With you have the break points for an extra level, could mean a lot. But here we go for the setup, Flowers. 30 seconds ahead.
So, wann kommt die Bard-Ulti auf APA?
With some good control wards to get an area to start the fight off.
Exactly. C9 controlled the river last time around, and it got them the Drake. Let's see if Lion can make their approach this time around. Isles with a magical journey through the wall to evade the deadly flourish. Make sure he doesn't get poked down at the start of the fight. Thanatos pushing top side, but he does have the TP to join up with everyone else. On the backside of the Dragon Pit, as Isles goes for the temper.
Oder?
Nobody else is around. APA there, rescued by the McHales from
Muss Geld für nächste Woche. Ich warte noch auf die auslosende Big Matches. Oder LCS-Matches. Ich habe sie fast fertig geschrieben. Also ich poste sie nach der Series. Warte nur noch auf die CS-Termine. Morgen 11 Uhr Start.
Isles is hanging out on the side, but remember that the Tempered Fate was already spent earlier for not much on the APA besides the McHales used from Vulcan. Now Lion trying to contest
ein 50-50.
First Dark and Dagger. Fire.
Danke.
Hextech Drake secured by
beides trotzdem losing.
As Inspired's low HP, but it's APA who's lower. They knock down the enemy mid laner as Dokla goes forward and looks to chase even further.
Yeah.
Vulcan and Ben on the run as Satan Berserker are ready to try to follow. Thanatos between worlds, but now he's the one caught in the chains of corruption. Dokla grabs the kill. C9 heads for the hills, and Lion once again takes the fight despite a C9 Drake.
And this time around, the story's a little.
Okay, 50-50, zweimal gewonnen, zweimal Drake bekommen. Also das erste Mal war kein 50-50, aber 2 Drakes, not bad.
This is an important dragon.
Not bad, not bad, not bad.
So they are able to burst it. Look at this, as the patience was just wrapping down too. And as they do it, APA flashed in. You can see him here inside the pit, so he's committed. They know he's gonna die after the fight, and the rest of Cloud9 trying to escape. The important part is that chase down where LYON, with the additional magical journey, are able to get Berserker in range to land the Varus ultimate and chase down one more kill. But now we're at the point where it is a larger goal
bei Berserker.
for LYON. But
G2 hat 3-2 gewonnen.
tantalizing possibility of a possible Hextech Soul. 5K and 5.5K is a lot of gold, though. That's bigger than the difference in game number 1.
Yeah, and that is the really tough part is, you know, if you get
Aber Finals MVP 90 jemand.
evens up the game. It doesn't really slam it home anymore for C9. And the question is, can you even get there?
Wie uses meine Annie bitte?
Way down in the
Wow, das war ein schöner Equalizer.
Drops the equalizer right on top of him, cooking him with the overheated flame spitter.
Er ist tot bei dem.
More damage, barely even needed as the DOT gets it done. The Leandries guarantees the death as the tempered fate lands on Sven. No chance to mop one up with a curtain call, and that's Big Dokes living up to his name here in the bot lane.
It surely is. Just runs APA down. APA even used his
ist Level 16 in welcher Welt, Bruder?
was used now. Saint under attack from Blabber. You can see the Aurora is coming, but fairly far
Oh,
away.
er ist tot, actually, oder? TP-Tor.
The teleport coming in to try to rescue him. He's already dropped the Arcane Storm, and yet again, it's Dokla. The cavalry arrives. Thanatos comes in to guarantee it's an even trade. He tries to bounce around back and forth.
Und Nash ist weg.
He's going as the fountain. Inspired's ready.
Ja, ich hab's euch gesagt, Draft ist 100% unwinnable Draft. 100%, ich hab's euch gesagt, im Draft 100% unwinnable Game. Unwinnable Game. Es war so obvious.
Blabber nearly had a
Es war so obvious. Wo ist der Schwanz, wo er gemeint hat, die reden so viel Scheiße, Hurensohn.
gets another kill, hits him with the
So obvious unwinnable Draft.
takes the Baron, and it feels like LYON starting to run away with it.
What a series so far from Dokla. Game number 1, Azael, I know you were praising
Ja, ich hab keine Ahnung.
so well at the
Außerdem, ich hab gestern Silber 3 geschafft.
a champion that normally falls off, and now here in game number 2, making huge plays both as an individual and as a teammate to set his squad up for the Baron.
Absolutely, he's been incredible. Gets counterpicked by Thanatos, gets attacked by Blabber, and is still having a ton of effect. And they've delayed that Baron take, as Kobe was highlighting, for Saint to grab it. Here is that initial play. It looks like it's going to be a good one from Blabber, but it just takes so long to get him that when you look at the map, a teleport's coming in, Berserker's moving up. You can see Inspired running over.
Unwinnable wegen Range, weil das ein Draft ist, den die nicht gewinnen, weil die zu schlecht sind. Das ist einfach so.
The roasting, both in chat and in game, in both side lanes. He's able to chase down the extra one. Inspired. I mean, this Neferi has too much damage. Flowers now.
Jetzt wie weg, halt's Maul, du Rage ist mich schon wieder. Bis kurz vor Timeout für eine Woche. Wünschen nur ist heute sehr kurz. Kontrolliert euch.
And he's got his GA for a while now. He's now working towards that 4th item. He's nearly 3,000 gold ahead of Blabber. Saint is 3,000 gold ahead of APA and 3 levels here.
Okay, Blabber and APA trying to make a move in the enemy.
Ey, Smite!
Oh, and APA got knocked on the wrong side of the blast cone. Inspired should be knocked into Guardian Angel at least here. APA barely hanging on to life as Inspired will resurrect through the Guardian Angel. APA going for the teleport to escape. Just says, all right, Blabber, good luck, dude. I'll see you back home. I hope you get home safe. He's not getting home safe, I'm afraid. He's in some serious trouble right now as Inspired is coming back to finish what C9 started. Inspired took the blue, and now he'll take Blabber's life. A killing spree, 6-1 and 2 on the Neferi.
And that type of play, you got to feel like the game is kind of over now, where APA and Blabber are just like going into enemy jungle
Let's get a blue.
Steal away blue, and then Inspired literally 2v1s on. He gets his own Gromp and still gets the blue also, smiting the Gromp and autoing down the blue. And he knew, hey, I've got a GA and I'm willing to use it, so I will.
What's the point in buying it if you don't?
Exactly. I'll chase you down. They get another kill. And
Forgot to mention the 3rd camp he got, Blabber.
Ah, true.
The Jarvan camp.
Yeah.
You just see this big guy with a spear standing in the jungle. Gotta get rid of him.
Gut, fertig bei Saints. Die sind alle so OP. Es
That one's a little hard to track.
crazy.
Get that one later.
That's one of the new objectives they added in 2026, the teleporting jungle camp. As man, C9 is in such a rough way now.
And it's so scary when you're thinking about, all right, Thanatos is really the only hope for C9, and Inspired is the same level.
Yeah, now Vulcan. Nice Mikhail's timing there, guaranteeing that he gets himself out of the Cosmic Binding into the wall. He did sidestep the Tempered Fate as APA finds the Tibbers here on to 2. This could be a good pick. Isles tries to flash away, but no, Blabber has the dunk. Now Dokla flashes out of the edge of the curtain call.
Die verlieren das, by the way. Ja.
Berserker firing back. Berserker goes on rampage. Dokla's still alive. Blabber has overextended.
Yep.
Lion is ready to punish him with a Hound's Pursuit reset. Thanatos wants to
Lead stirbt, by the way, stirbt.
Tech Ray, and he burns down to the Darkened Dagger bleed. As APA escapes over the wall, he will not be caught in the gravity field. Eviscerate from Inspired to chase through the terrain, as Lion may just end game number 2 right here. It's only APA and Sven to stop them.
I mean, it's just been all about Inspired and Saint in this one. APA has not been able to get anything done, it feels like, on this Annie, and Lion on the precipice of putting us on match point.
Lion having a hell of a showing here in game number 2. You're talking about Inspired and Saint being so far ahead for so much of the game, and Dokla also just coming up in those clutch moments. This team is ready to make their way to that finals matchup next week.
And I think it is an important discussion point because Dokla, he got enough votes to qualify for basically like the 4th all-team pro if there was a 4th team.
First team all snubbed.
Yeah, exactly. But he was not actually on one of the all-pro teams, but even with the split roster for Lion, you know, everyone recognizing what he brings to the team, and a lot of it, you know, during the regular season, his Anivia picks, how his team fighting with it really on display. And when you have this Lion roster that has so many stars, when the player that was not expected to be one of the biggest stars on the team is also doing their job so effectively as he has been on the side lanes and in the team fights, then it just looks really, really good all coming together here for Lion. And unfortunately for Cloud9, they're the ones on the receiving end again.
And the pressure is going to start really mounting for C9 here.
Der ist wieder tot.
Upper bracket, they will have another chance here against Liquid if they lose this series, but APA in trouble now.
Yep, here comes Big Dokes. APA drops the Tibbers as Doke.
Hey, Coco Jumbo, wo hatte ich denn recht?
Just turns and walks.
Wo hatte ich denn Unrecht?
This time around, he knows Annie has flash and he can't chase too long. And so
Willst du dich erklären?
on him right there, turns around, jukes your bear again. It's like, geez, Dokla, he's getting a lot out of the enemy team without over-investing here. Even though his stats, his gold lead isn't up Inspired and Saint, the plays have definitely been good too.
Yeah, I mean, he has been fantastic. You know, did tank the counter pick from Thanatos, did tank some of those ganks, and has been very effective.
Sofort entschuldigen.
Slowly grinding this one out. 11,000 gold lead here, C9. Even if they get the soul, that's not going to even the game up.
Tut mir leid, super. Passt. Beleidigen mir überlassen.
Well, Blabber decides to full send it after Saint, who flashes out of the Cataclysm. C9 was ready to try to follow that, but the Summoner spell is more than enough to get Lion's mid laner out of danger. And now as soon as Thanatos arrives, man, blink and you'll miss it. That Aurora is already out of the picture as C9 now has to retreat. They're stuck in a 4v5. It's Lion owning the map, and the Baron spawns in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Ja, die werden starten einfach. Kannst dich nicht machen.
Surprised if it spawned with the Lion logo on his face.
At least on the flag behind it. You can put it beside the Red Bull logo.
Exactly. So Lion here, they're wrapping it up.
Ich kenne nicht over, weil Lion immer ultra langsam spielt. Ultra langsam spielt.
About the draft for the next game. It plays and stuff, you know, already reviewing it.
Kann Bartelt Michaelsen, nein.
I will, again, just because we have to, put out the possible Dragon Soul. What if there's a miracle?
Lion Games dauern im on average wahrscheinlich immer 5 Minuten länger als sie müssten, aber die bluten dich halt langsam aus. Kannst du das Game retten? Nein. Nein.
So definitely still that for Cloud9.
Hey, if you're in a really deep hole, you're happy about getting closer to the sun.
Brother, this is a mine shaft. I don't see a way that you get out of this.
Genau.
Yeah, there's nothing coming through the end of that tunnel except maybe a train. Like, I don't know how C9 gets out of this position because Lion have total control over the Rift. They have themselves the Baron for the next 2 minutes and change. Sure, the Dragon's going to spawn, but it's not like C9 can get anywhere close to it, and Lion is just going to go ahead and get these waves shoved up.
Miracle wouldn't be a miracle if you expect.
Leichterer Draft. Problem ist nur, wem gibst du die, also wem gibst du die Aufgabe, den Draft leichter zu machen? Willst du wirklich Thanatos auf On packen?
using his sweeper here, trying to
Kriegst du Sejuani?
control. APA is behind enemy lines.
Gehst du Rell?
I don't think this is going to be a great sneaking mission.
Und dann im Game, I'm not sure. Die sagen, sie brauchen halt Winning Lanes. Ich glaube, dass also Annie into Victor reinpicken ist crazy work. Und dann war das in meinem Kopf der most obvious Nafire-Engel überhaupt. Ich verstehe nicht, wieso Nafire nicht gebannt ist. Ist für mich reiner Disrespect. Ich verstehe es nicht. So gut gegen deren Comp.
Yup, the dog sniffed him out. Alert! Oh, and he thinks he's getting away right into an electro harpoon. No, that's.
Ich verstehe es nicht. Ich verstehe auch nicht, warum wir nicht Ezreal gegangen sind.
It is.
That's the trend. Yeah. Choo-choo.
It also is unfortunate for Cloud9 that they have beat LYON in the regular season. They did it in lock-in, and they also did it at the beginning of spring.
Erst nach Bart Ulti da.
Again, in the playoffs, last time in lock-in finals, and now here, LYON are.
Achso, nein, wenn du kannst nicht im Sonjas von der Bart Ulti getroffen werden, das geht nicht. Das geht nicht, weil du bist ja untouchable, quasi. Dieses Nafire Führing genau 0 Lockdown-Comp von C9, also basically 0 Lockdown-Comp, ja, du hast Annies dann. Squishies überall, Silence, die du abfarmen kannst, ja, super OP einfach.
But you're shooting full HP targets. The fourth shot only managing to take Isle down to about half health. As C9 continues scrambling.
Gutes Jungle-Matchup gegen Jarvan.
Tries to engage with the Cataclysm, but the flashes from LYON are always ready. Inspired, pressuring the rest of the C9 squad back as the Nexus turrets are melted away. C9 forced back onto the steps of the fountain. Blabber forced into the Guardian Angel here, and it's LYON making their way to match point.
Game 1 was a battle, Game 2 was a stomp, and now Cloud9 gonna have to regroup, rebuild, and reverse sweep or be sent to the lower bracket.
Emily, what's going on with your match of the week?
Yeah, it's unlucky. Raz is gonna win match of the week 2 weeks in a row now.
Your match of the week is Ash, Emily.
Actually, didn't I win last week because you had Shopify?
Let's just forget about that.
Oh yeah.
Today.
Ja, das könnte 3-0 werden hier. Also, so wie sie spielen, ich bin...
Today, like a LYON sweep, guys.
Inspired is just not losing.
He's not losing.
He's just not losing.
What's going on?
Dokla just not dying.
I'm stress eating.
Much.
Why are you stressed? You're the one that picked LYON.
I did it intentionally. All my predictions go wrong.
I see. You felt like you needed C9 to win.
Yeah.
Either way, we got some highlights of the game that we're going to roll through right now. First one up, about 9 minutes, 40 seconds in. Game was even before this fight happened. Oh, Blabber. A little deep.
A little bit. Just a tiny bit.
I do feel like he has a bit of a mental block. I think he's specifically playing worse against Inspired.
Yeah, and then of course you're just getting chased down. Inspired is taking over.
He's in his head.
He needs a bigger head, honestly. At this point, he needs a bigger one. We can increase the size. I know we can't do that, but I'm making his.
This was when Berserker TP'd.
Yeah, because
and then Saint.
By the way, MVP to Dokla for that situation because he extended that dive for so long.
So many. He played weak side.
This was interesting. This play right here. They managed to kill Inspired. They secured the Drake, but then it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Back up. No, Thanatos.
Moments before disaster. And Blabber, let's back this up. Back this up.
Yeah, a little bit, just a tiny bit.
Back this up to before they engage. Right? Pause it here. It's
back
fine.
off, bros.
You've killed the jungler. You've gotten the Drake. Your top laner's 30% health, Blabber 60% health. Roll it again. Watch Blabber. We're watching Thanatos. Watch Blabber too. Roll this through. Just roll the clip because after Thanatos dies, his team is just not there.
Yeah.
And he missed.
You could kind of tell that like it seemed like okay, Blabber and Thanatos both want to go in together.
Oh, no.
But then Equalizer separates them. Oh,
he doesn't want to see anymore.
This is just APA getting cooked, right?
He just walks him down. Big
jokes.
Smiles.
Honestly, Dokla soaked up so much pressure before that Drake fight we saw earlier. He had kind of had to fend off another dive on the bot side.
That's the thing. The first dive that we showcased, like they got 2 people off of just him dying on the top side, and he soaked a lot of time up.
Yeah.
And then Herald play from LYON and C9 tried to dive bot lane, but he had Rumble ulti and everything. There's just so much that C9 is trying and absolutely failing in. This is great. Yeah, it is a game over. That is true.
It's already 8,000 gold.
Game over. Look at that equalizer.
You know, I'm watching this.
Yeah.
I voted Inspired Player of the Game.
It's Dokla.
All the highlights are Dokla.
It's Dokla.
If we're still allowed to, can we?
I also want to swap.
Can I change my vote? I apologize. Griffin loving it.
Same with Gryra.
They say it's too late.
Hanging out.
They say it's too late. Inspired is the player of the game. He
player
did
of the
do
game.
really well.
He did.
Shame.
Good.
But the fan vote, Dokla can still win the fan vote, Raz, which is impressive.
The fan vote can save this?
So he won the fan vote.
Nice.
I mean, it's a made-up award
fans.
anyway.
Thank you, fans.
Thank you, fans.
Thank you,
Inspired
fans.
and Dokla, co-players of the game.
Well done.
Well
done.
Very good.
Well done.
I guess I'm just narratively.
Yeah.
I see the 9 kills. I see Inspired, and I see that he's gonna do it again.
Die Tour war big 19 Uhr.
He's gonna do it again.
I'm not looking.
Look at the bottom
kracht's.
right by your head.
But also
5-0 in series.
Yeah,
when international qualification is on the line.
Where are you going?
Look at all these C9 logos.
He might add a 5th C9 logo of his 6 international qualifications.
Danke, Vio, danke.
That's kind of unfair.
Okay, mach mal das Schedule.
Now I will say
So.
C9 fan, I guess.
C9 is 0-6, could go to 0-7, and then could also go to 0-8, because they're going to be playing next week if they lose against Team Liquid.
True.
Say it ain't so, man.
Look, Emily.
Yeah, I know. I was wrong in my match.
But you're not necessarily wrong, because KT was able to pull it out yesterday.
True.
A reverse sweep
we
is
did
possible.
Have it is
G2
possible.
reverse swept MCOY in the upper bracket final in the LEC.
Boom.
And then they won the whole split. So it could happen. But also G2 always wins. So
yeah, and it seems like LYON is always winning this split.
I just think it's so crazy seeing it happen again and again.
Yeah.
I just can't believe how good Blabber looks outside of qualification matches against Inspired.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Anyway, he needs to win 3 in a row to qualify for MSI, or Blabber's gonna get sent down to the lower bracket final. Inspired and LYON need to win 1 more for a spot in the grand finals and MSI. Don't miss any LCS action when you get your favorite foods delivered on Uber Eats for less gold.
So, Schedule fast fertig. Sag mal, was du in der Draft von T9 sehen willst. Oh, ich könnte, also TF-Draft wäre natürlich Best Case. TF-Draft funktioniert im Normalfall für T9. Ich denke, das würde ich liebend gerne sehen. Ich finde auch eine High-Range Waycom zum Beispiel fände ich nicht schlecht. Fände ich absolut nicht verkehrt. Alternativ würde ich auch von Vulcan Engage Support nehmen. Alles da, Rell, irgendwas in die Richtung. Toplane AD Counterpick, nicht AP. AD Counterpick.
It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered.
So, Freitag ist LCK um 10 Uhr.
Rich in the ground before Dub can even get there. In time to try to knock out as Impact gets burst.
Don't feed. Get fed. Scan the QR code for deals only on Uber Eats.
Okay, Schedule ist fertig.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Aurora no W yet, I think.
coming, guys.
Okay, Aurora no W now for sure.
Okay, we will die, but
Aurora no flash.
Has Zabina, has
Flash
Zabina.
W.
No ult, no.
I should kill the Annie? Or...
Okay, so, Schedule ist fertig.
Okay, you good?
TP maybe I can kill Aurora. Yeah. I kill.
Okay, not bad.
Nice, look like.
Word? No Varstone, no Varstone, no Varstone.
Defend 1 SP, guys. Defend 1 SP.
Victor behind, okay?
Yeah.
Hier, Schedule für kommende Woche. Morgen 11 Uhr LPL Playoffs. BLG gegen Anyone's Legend Verlierer ist raus. Dann EMEA Masters Start 17 Uhr. Dienstag Solo Queue Freestyle Start. Ich weiß noch nicht wann. 12 Uhr oder sowas wahrscheinlich. Ich hole mir dann Eis. 12 Uhr, 12.15 Uhr. Dann 14 Uhr das LOL Quiz von Phil. 1 wahrscheinlich. Das zweite kriege ich nicht hin. 17 Uhr EMEA. Mittwoch Freestyle Start. 17 Uhr EMEA. Donnerstag CS2 Stage 3 Start. Major. 17 Uhr EMEA Masters. Freitag LCK. Ist morgen auch LCK? Nein.
Karma as well.
Okay.
Freitag, T1 Hanwha, erster MSI-Spot. Dann CS2 und dann Samstag, Sonntag, LCK und LPL. Da muss ich schauen, was ich mache. Freestyle. Ja, und dann hier Sonntag nach LPL-Finale machen wir CS2. Um 17 Uhr gehe ich offline und gehe Deutschland-Spiel schauen. Gehen wir jetzt einfach nur ein Game. Das ist alles Best of One. Morgen ist alles Best of One. Hier beginnt, also ab Mittwoch beginnt Gruppenstage. Kannst du kurz zeigen. So. Play-in Stage, also was morgen und übermorgen, also Montag, Dienstag ist Best of Ones. Best of Ones, bis du 3 Wins hast. 8 Teams werden 3 Wins haben in Swiss Stage. Wenn du 3 Mal Best of One gewonnen hast, dann spielst du ein Qualification Match. Best of 3. Gewinner ist in der Main Stage, Verlierer ist raus. Main Event ist ein Gruppensystem. Du spielst ein Best of 3 System, also du spielst Best of 3. Gewinnst in deiner Gruppe, gewinnst du 2-mal, bist du durch. In Knockout Stage verlierst du 2-mal, bist du raus. Pro Gruppe qualifiziert sich 2 Teams. Das bedeutet, wir haben insgesamt 8 Teams in Knockout Stage. Knockouts sind Single Elimination, Best of 5. Ja, ist Sonntag Deutschlandspiel? Yes, 19 Uhr. So.
What is your hardest moment?
I don't know if there's like one time. Playing on Dignitas, like there were like a lot of hard moments. Like I don't know if there's like one time that was like the worst.
I can understand that.
Just like the feeling, yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Same? DNF?
I mean, but to be honest, I mean DNF was like most like hard time, I guess. But I mean, even when I was like in C9 and then we were keep winning, it's like even that like between like scrim or like just practice, it's like always like something happen, you know?
Yeah.
Something disaster happen. So yeah, I mean,
That makes sense.
just every day, I guess.
What made you want to become a pro?
Money.
Here comes the money. Here we go.
Fair.
You played Maple Story, but not something before that?
Huh?
Maple Story, your first game? How does that make sense?
I don't know. I was like 6 years old or some shit.
6 years old, you played Maple Story. Really?
Ja. Aber McDonald's zweimal Magenta holen rede.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Riot Games Arena here in
Bitte
the
gewinnt.
split playoffs of the LCS. It's upper bracket finals day. Both of these teams are already guaranteed to participate in competition at Arizona next weekend for our roadshow. However, only one can guarantee themselves an international spot at MSI today and a spot in the finals 1 week from now. And LYON is 1 game away from it.
LYON is 1 game away from it, and C9 are still 3 games away from it. So they're going to have to reverse sweep if they want to get it done here today. Of course, if they lose, they will have a chance against Liquid.
Yep.
But their record in these big, important matches to go to international has been horrible since 2023. And I feel like the pressure is just going to build and build. If you lose a series like this 3-0, it is hard to not have that in the back of your mind.
Certainly is. So you just got to focus 1 game at a time. The game right now, and they're banning out the Caitlyn from Berserker.
Okay.
Going to be able to have that pushing bottom lane, as we have really honed in on these bottom lane matchups now. You know, the bottom lane matchups.
Schlauerstift geht nicht. Warum nicht?
Inspired has played off their pushing bottom lanes multiple times to go for invades and to make plays, and so that has really been a facilitator for you know, for their victories.
And we were kind of just talking about it. I mean, Game 2 obviously was a stomp. Game 1 was very, very close. But Game 2,
TF ist offen. Ich möchte einen TF-Draft haben, bitte.
once you get
C9.
behind Jarvan and Andy, it's very, very hard to come back because if your engages don't have enough damage behind them, you're never really going to win. So I feel like Inspired has been getting the better of Blabber, and Blabber really needs to be locked in this next game. Even in Game 1, they had that re-engage of the Gromp where he got killed. Game 2,
Gib mir einen TF-Draft.
he had the flag and drag onto the Bard and then flashed out, went back in when Victor still had flash, got killed. That gave a lead to Inspired, and I just don't think you can afford to give Inspired an early lead. and not expect this man to slam it home.
I mean, it's what you brought up that we saw earlier when we had the graphic in the middle of the game. Despite the fact that in their head-to-head, these two junglers have similar stats. Inspired is 7-1 against Blabber in best of fives because he has those clutch moments, whereas Blabber has these stumbling points. And if C9 want to reverse sweep it here, I'm in 100% agreement. Blabber has got to be locked in. Bans are already over here in the first wave, as Lee Sin, Alistar, and Seraphine are banned out by LYON.
TF Draft, bitte TF Draft.
And the Nico, but that means...
Oh, wir traden. Okay, Orianna, Cassio Trades.
What is that?
Ach, Mann, ey.
In the Orianna is available.
Wir traden Cassio.
Up though, which is another super high prio mid lane because 5 bans have been spent on the bottom lane. The bottom lane war zone there. So, you know, we very well could have.
Ezreal Karma ist offen. Ne, Ezreal Karma, okay, Karma ist weg. Okay. Na, meint.
Because as you're saying, Flowers, these are two of the
Ja, Cassio.
laners, and if all the focus on bans are in the bottom lane, that's exactly what we're gonna get.
That is crazy, bro.
Was zur Hölle, was macht Griffin da?
In the house with the wild
Let's
sign
hear some
there.
big barks.
Yeah, we better hear it if it gets locked
if
in.
they pick Nasus, he better be on the desk.
He better be.
At the end of the day, at the end of the game. Even if
I'll
we're
give
done
him
after
my
this
microphone.
One, yeah, there you go. Just pass him the headset.
He's been a good boy too. He listened to his doctor.
Oh. You can't just be throwing that out like that, brother.
All right.
All right. Well, Cassio is, of course, going to be locked in. Ezreal's going to come out this time around. I just want to say for Cassio, that's not something that people associate as much with APA now, but when he first came in, that was one of the champions people always talked about for him, and it is still his 3rd most played all time behind the Ziggs and Talia, and he has a 69% win rate, so it's his highest win rate of all of the champions within, you know, his top 10 or so. He probably has some random champion with 100%, but you know, very adept on the champ.
Okay, and we will see C9 lock in that Ezreal. I was talking to Kobe a little bit about it, like between the games. I was pretty surprised to see them go with the Jhin last game versus pairing the Ezreal with the Karma, which seems like a much more common pairing. But this time around, Sven will be piloting that more safe AD carry. Over on the other side, Berserker's going to go ahead and lock in a mid here nice and early.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the bans, right? There's Alistar ban, Seraphine ban, Lulu ban, Nico ban. 4 of the major supports are already gone. So we're looking at engaged supports, which, you know, is something that Vulcan is very, very good at. And with
Nicht
the
Braum.
banned out, the Rel
Rakan?
is a priority because that is one of those kind of denial picks for it.
And with Misfortune,
Leona Rakan?
have setup champions that keep people in the bullet time. Without that, this champion just goes ha 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 and does no damage and dies.
Can you repeat that?
No, I'm not going to repeat that. However, you have Orianna and Rel
No,
who
sorry.
both lock people down in the bullet
Rakan,
time.
okay.
AFK and missed that.
Some of our fans have definitely
Okay.
missed that, so you can send that to us.
We don't have to worry about that. What we have to worry
Make
about
a soundboard for Flowers.
No, I'm worried about it.
No, Misfortune has a lot of setup. That's the important thing. That's what we're talking about.
So does the Shockwave. This is one of those wombo combos, right? You know, Flash, Magnet Storm, Shockwave, Bullet Time, everything going in there. Jack hoping his team can turn it around. I think everyone here wanted to see a few more games at
Was mit Radar
as well.
They
War
need to
ban?
pull out their old meme, the dark magic of congratulating LYON on their series victory. No way Cloud9 comes back from a 0-2, right?
Wenn wir länger Pantheon vielleicht gebannt werden sollte.
Get the reverse sweep, one of the classic memes. But here we go. Okay, speaking of engaged supports, love it. The Rakan there for Vulcan, the quick delivery. That is one that can get back to a Misfortune and interrupt a Misfortune's gameplay. So we'll see if that is going to be effective. And then the ban of the Trundle does make me think, all right, Thanatos, Thanatos might be back on tank duty. If you're banning out the Trundle ahead of time, you want a front line. You don't want them
Selbst beim Pantheon.
And you're also thinking,
Was willst du damit haben?
Zhao is up and
Sind sauer, ja. Okay.
is going to be proud for
Sind sauer beim Zeigen, da kommt Skarner. Was dann?
Yeah, which does make me wonder
Was dann?
if LYON would be banning out the Xin, you know, if they're going to say, no, I don't actually want you to have that. Because we are getting further into Fearless here, so the pools are getting limited a bit. And the meta has been AD junglers for a long time. When I think of Trundle, I also think of Mundo. You know, Mundo jungle can be quite strong. You know, and it is one of those champions that you do not want to be picking into that Trundle. Olaf ban is kind of interesting here too. Ever since we saw Contracts have that monster game, I've been wondering who else is going to bring it out. And I had been kind of expecting that Blabber might do it, because Blabber, you remember back in the day, Olaf was his champ.
Yep. It was one of those champs alongside the Maokai that you just immediately thought of when you thought of Blabber. But we will see Trundle and Olaf out there.
Doggy dog.
Okay, there is still Multiple dogs left in the game.
You need
play.
to pick the
Jörg
dog,
raus, die wollen nah.
overcome the dog.
But now the one dog is already.
Aber Jace ist noch offen, theoretisch.
Dog versus dog. Nasus versus Warwick. If we really
Dog
want
on
to go
dog action.
completely.
Okay, you,
Bro, I'm not.
you guys are getting,
What do you mean, you guys? That is not a plural. I did not say that. I just said there are 2 dogs left to pick. Okay, we've got your.
it's the influence of Griffin.
We got.
Skarner, Free Skarner Game für LYON.
Xinjiao is locked in by C9.
Yeah, okay, so we do.
Wenn er will. Aber ist nicht so leicht gegen KCW, aber ja.
It's gonna be from Mr. Inspired this time around.
Okay, sie picken Jace, weil nah natürlich, na klar. Ja, ergibt Sinn.
Doesn't have escapes, and so it can look to punish again.
Yeah, for Dokla, it's probably, you know, it's either going to be the Jace or the Gnar. Jace, Gnar, Rumble are the 3 that you really like to play Yorick into. So since they banned out the Yorick, you're expecting it to be one of those 3 matchups that they are protecting for. And it is going to be the Jace here for Dokla. So getting a bit more of a lane bully, but of course Thanatos is on a counter pick here this time around. I wonder if he would take a page out of Dokla's book. Last time we saw LYON, he actually did play the Malphite into it. It's a matchup that I actually quite like. And there are some low mobility carries.
Oh, this is so good.
This could be flex.
It's actually so good too. I mean, it could be flex, could be Jungle Jace, but Counter Strike is really good versus Xin. So Jungle Jax is still good as a counter pick into Xin, but they aren't going to actually lock it in. But it definitely still is something you need to keep in mind.
I want Malphite, man. Malphite goes so hard.
You got
here.
it.
Yeah, okay.
You got it. Insta-lock.
To me, I just feel like if you're not picking Malphite here, you are trolling. This pick is really
Okay.
on the 1v1 against Jace. You can go Comet, since the Comet buff is actually quite strong. And the other carries are MF and Orianna. No mobility built in, is just the flash that they have to
Drop von C9 ist nicht horrible.
I feel like this is actually a great comp here.
Ja, Drop von C9 ist nicht horrible.
Plus Sinzao, plus Rakan flying in. You have carries that have a lot of agency here in the Cassio and the Ezreal. So I really like what they have built up.
100% agree there, because it should be hard for Misfortune to ever get a really good ult with a lot of flanking possibilities there. Ezreal as well as a lot of mobility. So does look pretty good for the Cloud9 hopeful, I feel like. Out of, oh, we're going to stick with the Sejuani top though. By the way, Sejuani, because of this Malphite lock-in, they're going to go with Dokla.
Oh Mann, und der spielt Liandris top und knallt den.
Quite effective. And so they do the flex that has been singled out there in front of us. Now we're actually going to get it, and Inspired's going to bring back that Jungle Jace.
I'm really interested to see what build he goes for in top, because I know there was also a Sejuani one trick that was doing all support items. He was going Vandal Pipes Rush for stacking his passive faster, and then just going pure tank support items. But of course, you know, AP could be pretty effective against that Malphite, and being able to actually flex that Jace to jungle, where it had been popular for a while earlier this year.
Yeah.
And dodging that matchup.
And so we did actually get one
Andi hat gesetzt. Uff.
back in the EWC,
Die Rückkehr des Königs.
North America, where Photon did it. And
Wir waren die letzten beiden Games. Erste Game war sehr close, zweites war ein Arschfick.
But they did lose the game for his Sejuani top, and that is the only Sejuani top this year.
And it is grass.
Oh, im Juni darf ich auch einen weggeben, by the way.
I am kind of
Moment, ich upgrade zu den Command.
whether it's going to be standard tank,
Im Juni darf ich auch einen weggeben.
whether it's going to be support items like Vandal Pipes and that style remains to be seen. But I do think this is a pretty cool flex. To be honest, though, if I'm playing Malphite, it's not like I'm really that worried about the Sejuani. You know, you're not blasting the Jace anyway. You're kind of just answering it.
So, wie sieht's hier aus? Ich kann nicht drüber reden.
And you're going to be able to farm.
Wie kann Punkt hat der erste? Ich habe keine Ahnung.
Sejuani, and
Aber an die CEO von den Wetten.
happy to play this compositionally into everything that LYON has.
Yeah, just maybe would be a bit happier if you had the Jace for your lane.
But it's not like a Vladimir or Rise or some
Yeah.
crazy thing got, you know, whipped out and now you're going to get smoked by it.
Yeah, if they would initially have drafted something like Vladimir to be the jungler, but that's neither here.
Ist der 80 € Rabattcode ab einem bestimmten Bestellwert? Nee, den kannst du einfach benutzen.
With LYON Coach Rainover.
Kannst du dann theoretisch ein 6er-Paket oder ein 12er-Paket ist wahrscheinlich schlauer.
To get the Malphite pick and then you guys respond by swapping the Sejuani top. Can you talk me through the thought process and the swap for Sejuani?
I mean, obviously at the beginning we didn't like plan it, but like the moment we see the Malphite champion, I think it was pretty good timing for us to swap. So we
Zusammenfassung nehme ich morgen Abend auf, denke
There's
ich.
like upside and downside, right? Of like top is pretty happy, but our mid jungle synergy is not like too good. But we do have.
Oder vielleicht morgen früh Großteil.
At the end with the team fight, I think our comp makes sense, so we end up going for it.
Yeah, I love it. And just talk to me about you guys are on match point.
Morgen früh Großteil, bevor ich live gehe. Und dann nochmal nach
Cloud9's
AI vs BLG.
name when it comes to important playoff matches.
I mean, I think game 1 we were in a pretty good spot, but we were pretty rushed on our decision making. So we just make sure the team, we just don't rush, just play patient. And then game 2 we did play patient. I think it was more of like C9 making a lot of like desperate plays, and we just like pretty much had an easy game. So same thing this game. We do have pretty good range as well. We do have pretty good scaling, so we just have to chill a little bit and then just play our Rincon well.
And over anything from C9's composition that you're worried about and something that you kind of want to look out for?
Fights wahrscheinlich,
end up
sagt er.
getting this victory?
I mean, it's just like their comp. They do have Casio for early game. He has pretty good matchup into Oriana. Alice only early game, so early game, like even Xin Zhao is pretty strong early game. So
Die Dagauer.
All right, sweet. Thank you. Appreciate it. And we're going to send this one straight back to the casters.
Gutes Interview von Renault.
Thanatos actually doing a really good job in the lane early. He got like almost an entire wave advantage on CS on Dokla as he pushed it and then got the bounce back. And he only backed off because he knew Inspired was pathing up towards him. He knows enemy jungle pressure is going to be desynced as his jungler is pathing the opposite way. So Thanatos plays the matchup really well and is...
Ja, früher hast du ATP Ignite gespielt. Ich gehe mal davon aus, dass er nicht abgefarmt werden will auf Sideline. Dementsprechend mit Flash. Erste Game war ausgeglichen, zweites Game war ein Stomp.
From the Malphite, even with the little swap.
Meanwhile, over in mid lane, checking in on this Oriana versus Cassiopeia trade, since both of these champions do often find themselves banned away. Everything is pretty par for the course. Rainover did say the synergy between the Oriana and the Jace isn't that great, so that is something that they considered one of the trade-offs.
Oh, actually, er könnte Main gehen auf Toplane Seju. True, er könnte, wenn er will.
Jungler alongside 2 solo laners. Although Sejuani is a tank mostly, she still does magic damage with her abilities, so I feel like you can still have some decent combo potential there, at least in terms of opponents not being able to itemize utterly effectively against you. Dokla slowing Thanatos down a little bit here, but honestly, Thanatos is undeterred. He is not minding.
Seht ihr auch für jeden Spell nur Q und
champion swap at all.
Yeah,
Ulti, oder?
Dokla queued forward.
Ist ja nicht immobilizing.
So it allowed Thanatos to chase down and actually, you know, get a really good trade, because when you
Das war disgusting.
normally you're trying to hit them, do a little bump, put some damage down, and then immediately back it off. But it is difficult to have that extended trade here into the Malphite, and is able to punish him. And this is once again that 2026 series results here for Cloud9.
Was mir jetzt, ich weiß nicht, ob das reinzählt.
The one time they played against LYON in the best of 5.
XP von Inspired, yep.
You can see right here, thank you very much, Kobe, for the circles. They've beaten LYON 2 out of the 3 times they've played them in a series. It's just the one time that they lost was the one time they could have punched their ticket to international competition a couple months back at First Stand. It really hurts to see all of these wins over and over and over again, and the one loss being that one that's really just such a backbreaker.
Well, so far, the game's starting out really well for them. Thanatos doing well on the top side. Dragon priority.
Ich schaue es nach, ich bin mir 99% sicher, dass wenig reduziert wird von Mandate.
And off the bottom lane, going pretty smoothly for them as well.
Yep, double tier stacking. Cloud9 going to be pretty happy. But you've also heard from Rainover. Rainover was saying he just wants them to play slow. He felt like they have the scaling advantage, like their team fight is going to be really, really powerful. And so I think both teams going to be feeling very comfortable, and it's going to come down to how can you perform in the team fights? Is Cloud9 able to clutch up in these big moments? Because that is where it feels like
geht besser.
the best of them in these skirmishes that give them the early lead in game 2.
Mein Problem ist, dass die Nines kommen sehr, wenn die drin sind, dann ist halt alle so all-in quasi. Das ist mein Problem.
Yeah, and meanwhile, look at all the vision. They've got this thing lit up down
Mal
here
sehen.
for the dragon stacking for the bottom side, and it also allows, you know, possible roaming ganks. When we do get finally these engaged supports matchups
Sind wir auf Champ, Camp, ja, ergibt Sinn.
and just get the push for your team, then it unlocks Vulcan or Isles to go for mid lane ganks, especially Cassio and Oriana. Yeah, they're super highly prized picks right now. Great mages for mid lane. But they're also in.
Ich glaube, Jack the Standoff ist ein bisschen zu easy für LYON. Also, was ich erwarte, ist, dass C9 es schaffen wird, ihre Spells zu früh zu zünden, zu viel zu paniken, und dann ist das Ding komplett over. Ist meine Prediction.
Yeah, not great there for C9 as
Mal sehen.
kind of winning that support battle. He was sidestepping the Gleaming Quill and then being able to land a double shattering strike and just kind of winning out in this little duel they were having in the brushes. Set up for Berserker to get that advantage. And as we all know, with MF versus any sort of Pokechamp, your only real opportunity.
Morgen G2 Big oder was? Ja, aber Uhrzeit, Junge, das ist zum Kotzen, 19 Uhr. Das ist doch scheiße.
Anything that you are doing.
Ich würde es gerne machen, aber da ist eben immer was das.
Topside though, already Glacial
Dokes.
Prison committed from Dokla, and Inspired is here, but it's still first blood over to Thanatos. Dokla overplaying his hand there, not ready.
Und die Sache ist, sie müssen halt hart engagen, weil sonst... Sie müssen mit Malphite engagen auf den Jace, weil sonst werden die auf Objectives, werden die komplett geknallt. So, ja. Kracht.
But Thanatos like just takes the ult, is like, fine, I'm gonna have my damage to burst as well afterwards. Neither of them use their flashes.
Das triggert man nicht, ja, aber darum geht's ja nicht.
Gets to push on the tower as well for turret plate money here for the Jace. And Jace's clear is still very, very good even after the adjustments.
Yeah, it is really good. And I mean, he got the cleanup kill and he got a plate on top, like you're mentioning. So 500 gold lead for the Jace. Here is this 1v1 though. As Thanatos has been winning out, had a much better buy. Doka at this point was just on
Die Man-Ability ist... Okay, wir gehen jetzt ins Casting-Game rein, das kann ich kaum glauben. Das ist super weird.
His hand needed to play it a little bit more slowly and they could have maybe got that clean 1-for-0. But at the end of the day, I still think you're reasonably happy with that because all
Interessiert mich jetzt.
to Inspired.
And Inspired now also going to pick up all of the grubs. So that earlier Drake that was taken by C9, now answered by LYON, grabbing an objective of their own as the bullet time gonna bring Sven down to about 100 HP. The full channel! Good lord!
Get me the fuck out.
Just steps up and shoots him down. Flash auto double up. Blink and you'll miss it. Both bullets find Sven, and he even waits.
7 Sekunden. Warte, Mandate gibt 20, ne?
That's a big mistake from the C980 carry.
That's what I was gonna say.
Mandate gibt 15. Ich brauche eine andere Seite mit 15 Ability Haste.
And those bullets, once the bullets are flying, you have to be able to flash into fog of war.
15 Ability Haste.
Break something and you already know you are a dead man.
15. 6,09 Sekunden.
That was gonna happen.
Nee, Bock
But
nicht.
because he also flashes there for Sven, that is quite rough.
I mean, the wasted flash is bad, but the bigger mistake is even just walking up. You're at 5% HP after
Stimmt, Glowing Mode war besser, ja.
He take that whole thing. You have to know he can look for that sort of a play, and that is a big misstep there from Sven, who has received quite a bit of criticism throughout the year for those types of mistakes that have cost him.
I mean, even when we were listening to the lounge at the start of the day, when you're looking at the all-pro team placements, C9, I believe it was, had 2 first-team all-pros, 2 third-team all-pros, and then Sven, who was not on any of the all-pro.
Yeah.
He has been one of the biggest points of criticism for this team throughout.
Inspired ist schon so ahead wieder.
And mistakes like that certainly aren't going
Das
to
Problem.
stop those conversations.
And notably, the guy on the other side, Berserker, guess what?
Hat er noch Shipback auf der Q? Ja, hat sie.
All-pro, and by a significant margin. And when you're at that low, you just cannot walk up. Like that is just the Q probably kills you. I don't even know if he needed the auto, but he gets both. And bullet to the back, and you got some time to think about it.
I don't know. This is never a play, I guess. Anyway.
Yeah, I feel
right.
like he really wanted that one back.
Yeah, I mean, he shifted aggressively before that, which is what Berserker, was trying to capitalize on, obviously, with the ult. And maybe based on those comms, that almost sounds like he thought he was baiting for something.
Yeah, because I had been assuming that it's one of those things where, like, you kind of know there's a high chance of this happening, but when he said it's not a play, it sounds like they had been talking previously about
bait this and I'll go in
a bigger
or
play
something.
of some sort.
Yeah.
Blabber and Vulcan stepping forward here, trying to maintain control over the bottom side river. Yeah, Inspired.
EP wird jetzt gleich geholt, oder?
Blabber also has the Sundered Sky completed on the Xin Zhao. And C9 has control of the bot side river for now. Should be able to secure this crab without much contest. Isles is going to move forward a little bit here, but C9 also has APA in the area.
Meine OP, ja.
Already nearly 800.
Es wird darauf hinauslaufen, dass diese Malphite-Ulti irgendwann zu früh gezündet wird.
Is playing first strike, and those shots
Straight up.
are punishing.
I guess too. Okay, as we watch the dragon.
Zu geben.
Got to keep an eye on this one. It doesn't look like LYON want to fight for it. They're just kind of going to walk away. Blabber
Keine Schock FO.
with his teammates nearby to guarantee C9 pick the second Drake.
So with the comms, I'm looking back at the play, and it actually is a really big setup play where they had the roam from APA in the process, and Blabber was already in Tribrush. So they literally had 2 other people roaming.
Fuck's sake, man.
Plus, they had Vulcan basically moved into position to dive. But because Berserker does the good job of, comboing E and ult to clear the wave and chunk Sven all the way down, that cuts the whole play off. So it was a communicated play with 4 members of Cloud9 kind of committing time. The funny little Easter egg there too is that right when he did die, APA gave a thumbs up, and as he was running down on the Casio. So yeah, they unfortunate for them because they had kind of coordinated with multiple members.
Man, this gold lead quietly, I mean, the game is only 2-1 so far.
Flash rausziehen bei AP. Ist gut.
12.5 minutes in for LYON, with 2/3 of it being on the AD carry. APA nice
Großer Gott.
there, getting away from the glacial prison. Now the counterattack coming in from Vulcan. Doklu's going to be the target, but C9, they don't have
Trotzdem Flash raus.
burn through a Sejuani. Very nice moves, though, from APA, sidestepping the Sejuani ult, flashing away from the Orianna ult, keeps himself safe.
It is well played, but at the end of the day, still a good move from LYON because you're trading 2 ults for the Flash. The Flash is going to be a much longer cooldown, so now they can go for a rinse and repeat. They didn't commit.
Ja, Lane-Up jetzt ist halt auch auf Mitte so disgusting. Auch mit den Swifty upgraded. Sehr disgusting.
And APA could be in a lot of trouble, and we're kind of back in what has felt like a bit of a familiar position so far in this series. Thanatos the only one with a gold lead for Cloud9, but he's on a tank, and I think Malphite is a fantastic pick in this game. I love it, but you do need the damage behind you, and Sven in particular is falling very far behind after that solo kill from Berserker, and Berserker is going to be running mid lane right now because now he has the BT and just ignore everything Ezreal does.
Yeah, I've got the BT, the Cull fully stacked to just give him that extra economic boost. C9 walk towards the brush, and Inspired is immediately ready to
Ja, X-Miffy.
with that accelerated shock blast plus the first strike. Blabber trying
Wird nicht besser, by the way.
can still potentially contest for this crab, although LYON are stepping up to try to force C9.
Just saying.
Berserker does have the ultimate. Inspired lands another hit onto the C9 jungler. Blabber down to half HP. Isles goes in, jumps into the crash.
Weiß nicht, was Isles da macht. Der gibt keinen Sinn.
But Isles just walks into his own
Spielt so perfekt auf Zeit und dann macht er so eine Scheiße.
easy there for C9, punishing LYON.
Yeah, it looked like Isles had lost track of the fact that APA was moving up because Saint is
So ein
down
Quatsch.
on the bot side, so he goes for the engage. Maybe thinking
Kannst niemals reinspringen als Jace, dann niemals. So ein Quatsch.
just calling it off because no one even pretended to follow up on that. They all just immediately backed off. Saint does get a plate, deny a little bit of CS there. Maybe a melee or two died as APA was on that roam.
Yeah, really smart from APA because it's a cannon wave, as you're pointing out. He doesn't lose very much at all. So really good team play there from Cloud9 in a game where there is so much pressure on them. You know, they're down 0-2. They just had their previous play they tried to call on bottom side turn around on them with 4 people going and it actually resulting in a death on their part. That is a moment that in a series you could see, oh, vibes could get really bad, but that's a very nice one from Cloud9 to bounce back and keep their hopes alive. They do still have the Dragons, even though the gold is definitely going LYON's favor, and LYON looking like they have had the upper hand for the majority of this series. The hopes there still alive. That little light flowers for
Dein Lieblingswurzelgemüse, Gesundheit.
still alive in this game.
Well, they're going to have to turn up the intensity on that one if they want to come back. A reverse sweep now mandatory if C9 wants
Servants fängt fertig.
this series and lock in their spot at MSI and the finals just a week from today. As the Rift Herald will now be started up. Vulcan, Blabber, and APA all in the area. Isles trying to clear out some vision. Inspired is also hanging around nearby. Serpent
Wenn Poke nicht landet, das ist ziemlich decent für C9.
item here for Inspired, going immediately for that more of a
Schaut auf Thanatos.
there in the itemization versus part of the usual core build.
Ja, wenn der Poke nicht landet, kriegst du das Game nicht gewonnen.
HP, and despite the fact that LYON was nearby, they don't fully commit to a challenge here. So C9 is going to take that one.
Yeah, C9 doing a good job. They have been winning the objective war thus far. They have already gotten the first 2 dragons. Now they're able to grab this here on the top side. And third dragon spawning in just over 25 seconds. So C9 can get down there and threaten that. That would be 3 dragons early in a Hextech Soul game. That would put them in a great spot if they can get it. So I think that LYON for sure will want to contest. And it's going to make it a lot about the setup. And you can see LYON members are there first. Isles moving in with Inspired, trying to control vision.
Berserker, meanwhile, has to be the one to answer the potential C9 push in the mid lane. Again, another accelerated shock blast from Inspired has been finding good
Zunächst uns bei Jace wie First Strike. Du meinst mit Melee Ranged? Ja.
the Drake. Both top laners contesting one another down here.
Er kann mit Spell swappen, ja.
Steps forward. Saint isn't here yet. Another nice
3K.
blast coming in from Inspired. Thanatos walks over. Dopa's ready to team.
Schöner Engage.
C9 full says it. Inspired's about to
Schöner Engage.
Beautiful kill coming in as C9 already find the enemy jungler. They're going to secure themselves the soul.
Oh, großer Gott.
Everybody is
Oh, großer Gott.
and Berserker
Boah, das war ein geiler Engage von Isles. Muss man auch sagen, no joke. Also geiler Re-Engage. Sehr, sehr geiler Re-Engage. Wirklich sehr geiler, also kannst du nichts sagen. Sehr, sehr insaner Re-Engage.
Cloud9 had just deleted Inspired. You know, as Inspired was looking for a Smite steal, Blabber was looking to kill Inspired. They did that. However, it cost them, again, a lot of gold. So the Dragons, so close. A similar story to last time around, but also a similar gold lead for LYON again.
And it's so reminiscent of the fight against Nefiri, where they kill off the Fury at the Dragon. They spend so much on it. Great, you got him. But look where Berserker is. Look where Saint is. They are not involved in this engage. They are positioned well. They're spread enough. You full send everything onto Inspired, and Saint and Berserker are full HP. So when they go back, get down, the re-engage here from Isles, plus the Magnet Storm, the bullet time, everything holding them in full.
Insaner Re-engage.
Destroyed.
Yeah, Dokla even hit the ultimate there to grab the extra kill, and so they got three. They got three with it. Everyone felt that.
Yup, that's the best feeling as a jungler. When they full send and they kill you, it's just like, yeah, nice team fight.
Sehr viel für Inspire benutzt hat.
Good stuff there from LYON, recovering in what
Wie
was
kostet C9, ja.
be a very, very good situation for C9 because they established themselves at Soul Point. But now I feel like we're once again back in this situation where it's no longer a good thing for you to get the Dragon Soul. It's now mandatory with these LYON gold leads.
LYON spielt gut, ja.
Huge. Saint, Berserker, Inspired, familiar position for them.
Was im Griff hin, ja.
Once again, of their C9 counterparts here. C9 do have really good playmaking.
Khalid.
It's absolutely possible for them to win out here. So you can see that defensive TP from
Junge.
But it's definitely problematic if you full
Junge.
on Inspired. You're ignoring the threats that are Saint and Berserker. This is not a one-threat comp. You can't spend
Skarkos nicht drauf geachtet. Ich schau kurz ins Replay.
And I had been looking at the gold in inventory before that team fight. Berserker, during that team fight, he already, before all the kills, had 1,700 gold in inventory. Like, had not purchased.
Nee, war nicht Skarkos, das war Ryra.
So he went back. He's got a collector plus extra swords on top of that already. So he already melted 3 people without spending the money. Now it truly is going to execute people with the collector too.
I mean, I'm pretty sure his inventory before that fight was 2 swords, the bow, the cull, and the bloodthirster. So it's just collecting on top of it now. This misfortune is so strong. 4,500 gold lead here for LYON. Vulcan still waiting in this brush. Saint uses his Chovy belt to get away. Vulcan wants to full sit engage, but Isles is right there to protect his mid laner. It doesn't turn into anything.
Yeah, that engage was not very inspiring, shall we say.
No.
Vulcan pops the quickness, kind of jogs on in there, but by the time he gets to Saint, you know, it's
Saint Level ahead schon.
very clear. Isles had read the play, was there.
Und du hast keinen roher Proc für den Jake.
Dangerous spot either. He wasn't even close to far.
Yeah, it felt like Saint read the play too. Yeah. He was super ready with his protobell activation. So
Mitte und ADC in Level ahead.
They're both same time.
All right, Berserker now. He took look at all the damage that he took that he no longer took. The Bloodthirster is just so nasty.
Like rewrite history, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I took the damage, but I didn't take it.
But no, I didn't.
Yeah, look at that. He's right back to full HP. He's got his shield on top of it. This misfortune is strong, but now the pressure is on. This is the make or break moment for C9 in this game, in this series. Less than 60 seconds until the Dragon Soul spawns. They are 3-0 in Drakes. They need this Hex Soul to stay in it. And I want to see what the setup looks like. APA at about half HP. Maybe trying to bait Dokla in here. There's your Glacial Prison. Doesn't find the slithery snake.
Trading the Petrifying Gaze as well, though. So that's a jungle pet.
Blabber's still in there, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, but Dokla just walks up. He says, all right, Void Grub, kill the turret. The Void Grub isn't strong enough to kill the turret.
What the fuck, die Full TPen da hoch. Guys.
Everything at him. C9 certainly going to take the kill on
Wir Full TPen da hoch und...
Meanwhile, over in the mid lane, it's LYON grabbing the tier 1 turret and pushing towards tier 2.
I feel like they kind of rushed the kill, maybe because they're worried about this push mid, but I feel like if you delayed that more, it would be an easier secure on the Dragon. That being said, there's still going to be about 25 seconds after this Dragon spawns.
Ja, die müssen hart pausen. Wenn sie hart pausen können, ist gut. Thanatos hat eine Ulti. Könnte Soul für C9 sein. To be honest, könnte. Was? Ihr fucking Voll-Apes.
C9!
Ja, kriegen sie ja nicht, weil der kommt jetzt in TP rein und Berserker hielt sich full. Oh mein Gott. Und die haben noch Ulti ab von MF, Mann.
What they want is the soul, the dragon soul. They make their picks. They're trying to burn it down. The teleport is coming. Berserker's got his
Maybe.
he's stepping forward. Here comes Dokla.
Der hat gesmited. Nee, hat er nicht. Warte, wer hat gesmited? Ich habe Smite Damage gehört.
Dokla wants a little bit more. The Hex Soul has already been secured here by C9. Berserker getting himself away for now. Blabber likely to die. Blocked up by Dokla. Blabber just sends himself into Lion's waiting arms. And now
Rakan Smite, okay.
the fight. Isles doesn't have Magnet Storm, but he still has the rest.
Oh Gott, verlieren die hier Nash am Ende.
Providing covering fire, looking to get his support away. Thanatos going to be your target now as Dokla zones Sven off. Arctic Assault right back forward as Berserker grabs the kill of a
Shockwave ist in 5 Sekunden wieder ab.
PA rejoins and prevents anything further. So C9, they will claim the soul. But what a sequence. That was all over the place.
Bitte. Ihr habt Soul, bitte. Seid einfach nicht schlechter. Einfach einmal nicht schlechter sein, bitte.
Lion are not going to try to make any sort of a rush towards Baron or anything like that just yet. They are now basing and resetting. They're moving up towards that top side to
Bitte.
claim some vision here. Thanatos will not have his TP, but Cloud9 holding on here. They look for this pick, and it's a Miasma to set it up. Flash, and then the Miasma, so you can't flash out of it. No ability to react to that.
Kein Flash auf AP. Ich sehe einfach schon wieder schwarz, Mann. Es ist nicht gut.
By Isles and Inspired, that it doesn't matter. He can't follow up on the damage.
Yeah, and then they're diving really deep, so Blabber does use his flash here. He won't have it for the...
Doch, es war das Smite von Rakan, okay.
Misfortune Ultimate...
Hex's Soul ist komplett OP.
There, he forces him a little bit back. We'll get back to live though.
Yeah, we already got problems back live.
Hey.
Blabber's getting bursted low, but Inspired's the first to die. Sven with a true shot barrage takes him out. C9 still fighting, staying alive.
Okay.
Double kill. This is it. Lion may have overcommitted. C9 grabbing a couple critical kills. Berserker's still alive though. Thanatos locked up by Dokla.
Hallo, ist mein MF? Ist die untouchable? Was passiert? Was macht ihr? Was macht ihr?
Got 3, 4. He flashes over. He gets another one.
He wants the penta.
Can he get the penta?
Was macht ihr?
Trying to get himself out of here, but Berserker and Saint are on the hunt. Berserker wrapping around from the side. APA wants the escape. It's not gonna happen. Berserker
Ihr Opfer.
goes after him. A little bit more damage is all he needs. APA running for his life. How much longer is it gonna be? Berserker waiting to get his strut back. Just needs one more shot. Oh no, the timer!
It's the timer, but also the...
Wieso darf man MF spielen, als ob sie... Das kann nicht sein.
He's gonna be dead for so
God-Mode an, oder was?
And Berserker, the bullet time, the split second he used it was when it came off cooldown. He was biding his time for the ultimate to come back up. It was a couple seconds left on it, and all of these low health Cloud9 members became easy pickings. But Cloud9 still have 4 members strong here and are back on the scene, able to push Lion off the Baron.
And the Hextech Soul in the hands of an Ezreal, the poke is so annoying, so hard to deal with. Cloud9, they're not only are they going to push them off the Baron, they're going to start it up themselves because...
APA has TP.
All right, C9 starting it up, but the DPS is going slowly. Berserker, still no bullet time.
Keine Ulti, kein Flash auf Berserker.
On that one, Thanatos stunned up here on the front line by Dokla. Inspired, trying to find those accelerated shock pass. APA arrives back into the fight. Same
Oh mein Gott. Oh, großer Gott. Ja, schaut auf Thanatos, der muss sie halten. Es ist so bad. Bullet Time ist in 8 Sekunden ab. Es ist so lost, es ist lost, es ist so lost. Diese Hurensohn, ihr seid so schlecht, ihr seid so schlecht, ihr seid so schlecht, ihr seid so schlecht. Ich bin so done. Ich bin so done. Ich bin so done, ich bin so done, ich bin so done, ich bin so done. Ich bin so done mit diesem Team. Ich bin so done.
Baron does get smited by Inspired. They take it back, and it's a 9,500 gold lead.
I mean, C9 are just going for these crazy risks.
Ich bin so done.
APA did have TP, but you're starting to have 4v5 in the face of Lion, who are all there, and they're getting shredded by the Baron the entire time. Hextech Soul or not, that was wildly risky. And Thanatos and Blabber are just tanking damage for free. They get knocked out. Able to stroll in, take the Baron, easy peasy. 10,000 gold lead here now at match point. And we can watch it again.
Yeah, honestly, I want to see a graph with the damage done by Baron this team fight because it is massive. So they pull off at 7,000. Saint flashes away from Rakan right in the middle of your screen, and he gets deleted there. So they immediately deal with Vulcan. Baron is still AoEing all of Cloud9, spitting on them again, and then Berserker and Inspired can just walk in here right behind.
Die Sache ist, Thanatos hält halt seine Ulti und er muss es ja auch machen, aber es ist so bad, es ist so bad, es ist so bad.
Another time and only. Yeah, you can tell.
Es ist so bad, es ist so bad, ich verstehe das nicht.
Swinging for the Cloud9 fans when they got a little hope, but it's immediately taken away.
I mean, they were tanking the Baron for so long. Then when they turned for the engage, guess who's taking the Baron? Ezreal and Cass. They were just taking so much free damage. C9, they still have a chance here. We'll see if they can find some sort of a big play. The Edge of Night going to make it harder to engage in onto Inspired for that Malphite. Going to have to try to poke that off first. And no vision in the area for Cloud9. So as they try to force their way in, the poke could be deadly.
And LYON is going to have their Baron for another 45 seconds after the Elder spawns. So LYON will continue to maintain total control over this super buff that is less than 30 seconds away.
MF-Flash wird ab sein für den Drake.
Go through the...
Was machst? Okay.
I'm not sure if this is safe. I'm on the edge of my seat here a little bit. Granted, I'm standing up.
Yeah, Cloud9 going to try and play through bottom lane right now. Sven pushing the wave at the moment, but I don't think LYON even care about that.
Oh, Douglas going for the TP tech for the shield, so I think he must be trying to force an engage because he just TP'd beside himself. Now he has that fat TP shield to try to force a fight.
Exactly. They want to make sure that they can win this fight, take the Elder, and end the game right after it. Inspired, looking for those accelerated shock blasts, looking for the angle to find some poke before this starts. Blabber going to go ahead and start the aggro onto the Drake. Isles has his flash. Vulcan is all the way back at the enemy red buff.
Oh, God.
For the long con here to find the LYON backline. Remember that Saint has no flash.
Vulcan ist noch nicht gespottet.
Elder Dragon going to go ahead.
Flash bei Berserker wieder ab.
Vulcan, control ward over the wall. Inspired, walking back, wants to try to track this guy. Vulcan going to step forward into the rush here. Goes in for Saint. Finds the quickness. On the entrance. Saint's going to be taken low, but he does not die here just yet. Blabber with Thanatos looking to dive after the enemy.
Was ist das? Was ist das? Was ist das?
Has fallen. C9's gambit failed, and LYON wiped them off the rip. 5-for-1. Regular season means nothing if you can't step up when you need to. And once again, LYON shows they've got what it takes to knock C9 down. They will clean sweep them here in the upper bracket finals. They will punch their ticket to MSI, and they will earn their spot in the finals to compete for the LCS Spring Split Championship next weekend.
And Berserker with a Misfortune Masterclass drops a 14 bomb on him. 14-0. Deathless. Really big here from LYON. 3-0, taking down Cloud9 and guaranteeing their spot to represent North America at